Hello, good evening and a very warm welcome to the Rab CWIF 2018. I'm Mike Langley and tonight I'm joined by British bouldering legend Gaz Barry.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Joining us in the studio as well, down on the mats, we're going to have Jana Kuda, MBE and overall World Cup bouldering champion from this year. Shame she can't be climbing this weekend, but we've got her down on the mat and in amongst the action. So we've got 15 minutes now just before the final starts. We've got time to look through the qualifiers and semi-finals highlights from earlier. We've got a bit of chat about the new rules from IFSC, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the winners and losers from the semi-finals today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome show, and speaking of the comp, the finalists are going to be out at 6:30. But in the meantime, let's take a quick look at the highlights from yesterday's qualifications.
We're here at the first round of the CWIF qualification. There's so many strong climbers here. Everyone is trying hard and having a good time. Lots of smiles, but lots of serious faces too. And yeah, let's go check out the boulders. I'm here with Max Ayrton. Max is qualifying this morning, so you're in the first session. Is there any standout boulders that you're like, that one is amazing?
All of them. Every block in the CWIF is great. The more awkward, the better.
My favourite one's actually been the super burly red one over there, it's problem 4.
No surprise there, hey, the steepest, burliest one.
Yeah, I've actually managed to do a few slabs though. I got them out the way super early, but hated every single minute of it. But I do like the burly ones a lot better, yeah.
Sasa, thank you for taking a little break in your qualification to come and chat to us. How's it going out there?
No problem, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. It's going really, really well. I like the boulders, they're really creative, and as some of the friends said, old school boulders, but I like this style and I'm really enjoying climbing with the company. It's a lot of fun.
Michaela is known for her slab skills, and CWIF is definitely a techie, slabby qualification round anyway, so how's it been?
It's not really been that techie this qualification round. Like, it's been a really good mix of styles, like some really cool jumps which have been some of my favourite of the competition, like some longer power boulders, and yeah, of course the techie slabs. But I think the one, like the most techie one, I just like boned my way through. It was just like, I've done it wrong, oh well.
Hey, I'm Leah Crane. We're here at CWIF 2018. I've just finished the qualifiers. There have been some really fun blocks, and there are competitors that have come in from all over the world for this event. Let's hear from some of them.
Zdravo svima, ja sam prvi put na CWIF-u i veoma se zabavljam.
Yeah, what she said.
שלום לכולם, מתרגש להיות פה, מתרגש למחר.
Zdravo ljudje, upam da uživate i gledate CWIF.
Hej, jeg hedder Katrine. Jeg kommer fra Danmark, og jeg er her til CWIF, og det er vildt sjovt.
Donc je m'appelle Arnaud et donc on est venu ici pour la compète, c'est super fun, il y a de chouettes blocs et on vient de Belgique donc voilà, c'est cool, une bonne ambiance.
はい、Kokoro Fuji です。初めてCWIF来ましたけど結構すごいお祭りみたいな感じがしてとても楽しいです。I'm really fun.
Hallo, ik ben Don. Ik ben momenteel bij de CWIF. Het is superleuk en volgend jaar hoop ik er weer bij te zijn.
Hallo, mein Name ist Alexander Megos und ich bin hier dieses Jahr beim CWIF zum Zuschauen und Tee trinken.
So that was yesterday morning's qualifiers, and we will be catching the action from this morning's semi-finals very shortly. But before then, we do believe we have Jana Kuda down at the wall with Slovenian legend Jana Kuda.
Hello and welcome to the mats. We are here and waiting for the CWIF final. I have the pleasure of being joined by Jana Kuda. Jana is over from Slovenia and he had an awesome qualification round yesterday. How was that?
Well, qualifications were quite okay. I took it really easy, so it went pretty smoothly through the qualifications. But yeah, today it was a bit different story.
Yeah, so the semi-final boulders looked absolutely brutal, and it looked like it was pretty warm out there on the mats. There was so much falling going on, and the action was amazing. To be here watching was amazing, but how was it to be out there and climbing?
Well, I pretty much enjoyed climbing though. It was like a really nice setting. I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe I should put a bit more effort in the second problem, which was maybe one of my favorites though. The last one it was just a bit too hard, or maybe I didn't focus enough, but yeah, I had fun, a lot of fun.
I think you might have got the closest to the last boulder without actually doing it. How many times did you touch that last hold without actually holding onto it?
Well, I don't really remember how many tries it was, maybe 2 or 3. But I was trying to skip the hard move, so going straight to the top, which apparently wasn't the best solution. But when trying the original one, I felt quite close, but yeah, then I somehow chose the other way and it didn't work out, unfortunately.
So the route setters here at QWIF tend to make the boulders quite tricky, quite awkward, technical. There are some jumps and some power boulders, but I think this competition is infamous for being a very technical competition. Did you find that, and do you think that looks like the case for these boulders behind us?
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm also like a route setter, so I'm trying to play the same game with all the tricky stuff and maybe not too hard, not too brutal, but just hard to read. And I actually just enjoy this competition and I like it to be that way.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool, but who is your money on tonight? Like, who should we be watching out for? Who's going to be standing on top of that podium at the end of the night? Go on, who are you betting on?
Okay, now I will say something different, but I think Alex, he's truly a strong climber, and maybe he's not technically the best one, but he's so in the mood in the moment that also the stuff that he's not the best on, he can crush tonight, and I'm putting all the bets on him tonight.
Is that a little bit biased though? Because Alex is one of your best buddies here. You've just come off a trip in Switzerland, climbing together, you know. I feel like it's a little bit biased, but we'll let you off with that. And how about the women? Who should we be watching out for in the women?
Yeah, if I'm honest, I was quite focused on my semi-finals, so I didn't take a look about girls climbing. But still, there are some strong girls who can do really well. For example, Stasha and Michaela was doing pretty well, I saw, and yeah, I think it's going to be also tough for them tonight.
I think it's going to be a really, really good show out there. There is some strong competition, and thank you very much for joining us, Jana. And we're going to go back to Mike and Dave. Mike and Dave? Mike and Gaz.
Yeah, welcome back. Gaz, Jana, obviously pretty tough that he didn't make it through. We're going to talk about the semi-finalists, sort of the winners and the losers in a little bit, but we want to talk about the new IFSC rule this year. So last year at the QWIF we had the opportunity to bring in the new 4-minute rule, and that's rolled all the way through the season. It's caused some controversy. Some people loved it, some people hate it, but it seems to be here to stay. And this year at the QWIF we've been using the new scoring system and the ranking of all the different scores.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually read this because obviously we want to get it right. It's new to us and it's new to you guys. So from 2018, there is a rewording of bonus to zone. So forget the bonus holds, it's now the zone or zones. And a greater emphasis is now put on the number of zones scored. This means that the scoring will be based on the number of tops, then the number of zones, then the attempts to tops, then the attempts to zones. So for example, in the semi-final earlier on today, we had in 5th place Matt Cousins, 3 tops in 8 attempts, 4 zones in 8. And in 6th place, Tim Rosa at 3 tops in 7 and 3 zones in 4. So Matt got 3 tops in more attempts.
Yeah, so last year Matt would have been 6th and Tim would have been 5th. But this year it's swapped around. And that's going to be really interesting as we go forward. Maybe that will have a position, maybe that have an effect on their finals. So if we end up in a countback situation, the new rule could have a big impact here at the QWIF. Well, it's also true in the women's as well. Like, it's a very minute change to the rules, but it can make a difference. Chloe Collier finished in 2nd with 3 tops in 7, 4 zones in 6, and Yara Sparte ended up below her, even though she topped quicker, 3 tops in 6 and 3 zones in 5. But
I think the interesting thing for me is that the timing has changed maybe the way that the athletes are going to think and approach the boulders, but the scoring's not really going to affect them. That's just something that will affect them position-wise after the competition's over, not really influence the way they climb.
Yeah. As always, we promise it's not as complicated as it maybe sounds, and we'll do our best to talk your way through it. We've got plenty of graphics for that during the finals, but before then, let's check out what happened this morning in the semi-finals. So here we go. This is one of the top athletes in the semi-finals here. Yara Shibate, she was really there. It was Aidan Robertson, the Team GB. Long day already. It was a really good semi-final, guys. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was exactly what this competition needed. It just needed a solid round of competition. It's hard boulders, not too hard, just enough to split the climbers into the 6.
Yeah, I think the route setters did a really good job with both top qualifiers, male and female, both completing all 4 boulders, which is quite rare to see. It's a perfect result, really.
Yeah, and you can't have a stream without a cute dog. That's definitely winning the dog awards. So that was the semi-finals, and like I said, it was an absolute smasher. So if you didn't watch it, do go back and check it out on the YouTube feed. So Gaz, let's talk a bit more about the semi-finals. We have got a bit more time before we go down to the mats and get this competition underway. But let's be honest, there was a few big casualties, especially in the men this morning.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we lost the highest qualifier, Jan Hoyer. He missed out by a couple of places. He finished in 9th place. Tyler Landman was 12th, another big hit, as it were. Jana Kuda, who's been QIF champion before, and Adidas Rockstars champion as well, finished in 8th. We saw Jana earlier on. He's a happy chap. He's not going to be too gutted about that. And Dave Barron's as well, 11th place today. He's sure he wants to be happy there.
Yeah, I think once again it just shows you there's a huge slice of luck involved in competition climbing, but also just how strong the field is all the way through. So much talent. Concentrating on the women's competition, slightly different. We feel really it went to the form book. There's a couple of casualties and a couple of very good performances, but generally speaking, some of the athletes you think got through they did what they needed to do.
I think the women's results was as we were expected, really. No surprises there, but Hannah Slaney missing out by 1 place, 7th place, 2 tops in 4 attempts. I mean, it's a real shame for Hannah. It would have been good to see her in the finals. She's been climbing super strong on the routes and on the boulders. And Emily Phillips, amazing performance, 15 years old, 9th place.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But some of the people who were definitely winning during the semi-final round, Jana Kuda mentioned it there, Alex Kazanov, he was just looking like a different athlete from what we've seen in 2017. He's apparently been training like an absolute beast all winter, got himself a new coach, training 6 days a week. He said he was training 36 hours a week.
Yeah, Jani was singing his praises as well, and he's definitely strong. And obviously we can't forget about Kokoro, 3 and 7. He's in the final. Kazanov, like you said. Cousins, 3 and 8. Cousins had a bit of a problem in the semi-final with a split tip. I had a chat with him earlier on. I said, you've got to forget that. You've got to put it out of the picture. It's not going to have any impact on how you do in the final.
Yeah. And focusing again on the women's competition, someone like Stasha Gale, we saw her there in the qualifying highlights, just European champion 2017. Surely she's one of the favourites for tonight.
Yeah, it was an interesting semi-final for her. Actually, it was absolutely crushed block 1, block 2, and then suddenly went off the boil on 3 and 4. I don't really know what happened there. I didn't get a chance to have a chat with her, but yeah, it was interesting to see how her semi-final went. But I'm sure she can pull it out of the bag for the final.
Well, there we are. That's the semi-final. We're really much looking forward to the finals tonight. We've had a look through the boulders that are absolutely brilliant, and we do believe we can go down to the wall now and have a look at some of those boulders, have a look at the crowd, have a look at what scene we've got here for the Rab CWIF. There we are. It's our first look at the widescreen from the left-hand side of the competition wall. We're getting very, very close to the start of the competition. See here, Gaz, absolutely packed in with a queue to get in. I've never quite seen it. The QIF's been going on for I think it's 10 or 11 years now, and it was stacked.
I think they're still queuing outside actually as we speak, so hopefully they've managed to squeeze everyone in there.
So guys, do remember you can get in touch tonight. We'd love to hear from you. Use the hashtag RabReplay and at the Climbing Works. I think it's at Climbing Works.
It is at Climbing Works on Instagram.
Do hope to hear from you, especially if you're overseas. We'd love to hear from everybody who's round and about. See, as always, the judges and officials frantically running around, just making sure everything's in place.
Alf Simmons there, just ducking out of the way with his receding hairline.
Here we go. The athletes are coming out. This is the observational period starting soon. We're just presenting the athletes. So they come out in reverse order from when they qualify from the semis, 6th through to 1st. And the Besvarta there on the far right-hand side of your screen, followed by Leah Crane. We thought Leah was having a bit of trouble getting through, actually, from the semi-final rounds, but as always with Leah, just seems to do what she needs to do. Sashigeho there, you can see the strapping, heavy strapping on the right hand side of her knee. She says that's fine. She doesn't think that's going to cause too much of problems unless she's got any really powerful rockovers on that right leg. Chloe Collier, also from Belgium, fantastic result from her to go through, absolutely cruising during the semi-final round. And Michaela Tracy from Team GB really smashing in the men's competition then. Tim Ralzer from the Netherlands, you can see on the far left-hand side of there in the blue vest. Matt Cousins qualified in first position from the qualifiers, has got that split tip, he's super glued that up, so it's pretty desperate scenes for Matt.
Kim Marschner from Germany, followed by Aidan Roberts from Team GB. We've just seen Kokoro Fuji from Japan, and the highest qualifier, as we've already mentioned, Alex Kazanov out on the mat already.
Michaela doing a bit of a dance already. I've just seen her in the isolation zone. She was just frantically spinning around the walls, jumping and flying, really getting a game face on as always. And
she certainly is an excitable young lady at times, as we saw her in the semi-final.
If you saw the semi-final round, there were some classic Michaela moments there. It was absolutely brilliant to watch. Great emotion. So the climbers now are going to go into a 2-minute observational period per block. So this is where we see the classic dancing of the hands in the air. Pretty chilly out there today, Gaz, though. Pretty cold conditions, but once they got warmed up, I'm pretty sure the climbers will enjoy the conditions, not too hot under the spotlights.
Well, actually, we've got a couple of stats here of the temperature going on in the arena. Percy Bishton, the commentator in the arena and chief IFSC setter for the 2018 season, his hands are at a 27.1 degrees Celsius. Laurent Laporte, owner of the Cheetah climbing hole brand, you've seen a lot of those on the wall today. His head is 31 degrees Celsius and the crowd are a cool 24.
Good to know. Useful stats. I think the route setter's heads might be getting slightly warmer as we go through. I'm not sure if that's due to the beer or the stress.
In another hour we'll report back on Laurent's head.
So guys, they're just in the observational period at the moment. And we're going to use this opportunity to say a big thanks to the sponsors who have helped here. Without these guys, this stream would definitely not be possible, and this event would not be. So a huge thanks to Big List, Rab, Scarpa, Squadra, Lapis, X-Cult, Axis, Blocks and Bluestone. And now we've got a few short clips from them now.
of the climbers, they are currently having their 2-minute observation period. So they get 2 minutes to observe each of the 4 boulders. And in that time, often the athletes will gather together, they'll chat about the beta, try and figure it out. It's a funny period of time because I know from being out there myself that sometimes the athletes are really welcome to share their information, and sometimes they want to withhold that information, and you see some guys figuring it out, and especially if there's a couple of people from the same team. So it's quite an interesting time to watch and see what they're getting up to. It looks a little bit weird, they're just kind of waving their arms around in the air. It looks a little bit strange, but hopefully this is the time where they figure it out. For me personally, it's quite amusing to watch because I've actually been on these boulders before. I've tried them, I helped out the route setters testing them, and I know how they're supposed to be done. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how they're going to be climbed. I've also done some of the moves, so it'll be quite interesting to see what happens. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think we can see Matt and Aiden getting together, and they're like figuring out the moves together. We've got Kokoro trying to get right in the mix. He's in the middle and everyone's trying to checking out what he's doing. The girls are currently checking out the slab. The slab is really cool. Make sure you're watching what they're getting up to on that first move. There's a really, really tricky foot swap. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really good show, and I can't wait to see what they get up to. And it's so interesting watching them, and they're not actually allowed to touch any holds but the ones with the tape marks on them. So you can see them kind of putting their hands and hovering them just over them but not quite touching them, and yeah, it's really interesting. So I guess this is the time where they'll try and figure it out, and then they've got 4 minutes on the mat. So I'm going to hand it back to Mike and Gaz in the studio. Thank you very much.
Great insight there from Shauna, and just to help explain, I see Leah Crane there with the red hat on, pointing out that women's 3. So men's 1 goes first. That starts on the right-hand side. That comes across all the way through from the right to the left into the foothold volume, blocks volume on the yellow wall. We might just better pop back to women there if we can, and just to help explain that boulder. Basically, because of the size of the wall here, the men are going to go first, and then the volumes, one of them's just above, you can't see, but just those 2 volumes are going to come off, and that black tape will be removed, so the women have a lot more space onto that right hand side. But the men obviously can't touch those pile of 4 black volumes on the left, so the route setters have just helped to clarify with a bit of black tape so they can't use.
On the left, what we see at the moment is female 3, and the pink holes on the right is actually going to be men's number 1.
So if you have just tuned in first, thank you very much for joining us. We are in the observational stage of the competition at the moment, so we are on I think we've just moved on to number 4, boulders number 4. The men are all there, women just starting their observation on women's number 4, so they have just 2 minutes to figure these boulders out. Then they'll head to the isolation zone, which for this stage in the competition is just to the left-hand side of the comp wall. A bit chilly down there. They'll get the down jackets on, try and get sight, get some fluid and get some food on board, and get ready to let rip.
Yeah, this boulder 4 was the one that Sam Whitaker, one of the owners of the Climbing Works, was super excited about. It actually looks quite a basic boulder, big blobs, just smashing between some big holes. It's probably going to be pretty physical, I can imagine. It looks okay, I'm sure it's not that easy.
Yeah, you can see there pretty much most of the climbers are pretty much the same height. Slightly bigger climb there with Tim Rouser, but generally speaking, everyone's in a good height. You can see their previous winners. Unfortunately, Magos was injured coming into this competition. The winner of 2015 and 2017, Sean McCall, can be with us. Eva, for joining us online, Sean. Hello. Great to have you with us. Remember to get in touch, #Rab Replay, and at the Climbing Works.
Nice, it's super cool to see the athletes there working together. We've got athletes from so many different countries, and they're actually all just working the problems together. It's such a friendly scene at this point when they're trying to understand the boulder problems.
It's, we always talk about it is unique to climbing, and you don't see that sort of too much in other sports. And I was talking to Kazanov earlier on this morning, and he was just saying that that's why the reasons he comes back time and time again. His 3rd time here in Sheffield for the QWIF. He just said it's super relaxed, good training, and a really good sighter for the season to come.
Well, that's it. Observation is over, so the athletes just go off to the side now, where they're going to gear up, get their warm gear on.
Get the game faces on as well.
Guys and girls that are going to wait, we're going to go in reverse order. So for the ladies, you can see that's Anna Bessbatter, Leah Crane, Stasha Gale, Lara Spartan, Chloe Collier, and in 6th place with Michaela Tracy, who qualified into the final instead.
What about you guys? So psyched for this one tonight. Can't wait for this to get started. Let's have a look at the men's lift. It's Tim Rauser from the Netherlands. Comes out. He'll be coming out first. Matt Cousins, who managed to qualify in first place and suffered with a split tip. Actually didn't need to do the final boulder, but battled through anyway. That's just the kind of guy he is. Just wanted to compete on the boulders. Managed to get through anyway. He was in the free tops club that made him a position into the finals. Kim Marshner from Germany. Aidan Roberts, fantastic result from him. Highest qualifying British athlete. Kokoro Fuji, the Japanese champion. Just no surprises really to see Kokoro up there. He didn't qualify that well actually going into the finals from the qualifying round yesterday. And Alex Kazanov, he was the standout athlete for me in the men's category from this morning. So super stacked. Gaz, who's your money on?
Well, I think, to be honest, for me it's in the men it's Alex or Kokoro for the top spot. We've got the first competitors actually out on the mat now. We've got Tim Rauser for the men and Alma Vesvata for the ladies. We are almost ready to start the final, and here we go, we're underway.
So this is it, the Rab CWIF 2018 is underway, and it's Tim Rauser starts his campaign, starts us off. And Westphal wasting no time, obviously, so you're only just observe these boulders. So one of the good things about coming out first, you may qualify in 6th position, but potentially get the best conditions and just seen the boulders in observation. Superb start here from Alma. We will be cutting between the different cameras as the final progresses, but this is a fantastic start. Absolutely no issues here from the German athlete. He's absolutely firing here, but she still has quite a bit of work to do. Gets super high foot into the crack. Come on, Alma.
See this, we had a sort of crimp version of this boulder in the semi-final, the shoulder press action. Now we've got something for the ladies as well. Opening the lift doors there to pass to that bonus.
On the elevator doors, this is a good start here from Tim as well. He's over into the corner. He's got to watch those pile of volumes on the left-hand side. He's pushing it out now, the classic round the corner onto the slab at the cliff. Pushes it out to the finish hold. Looking for the toe, can't see it because it's right around the corner. That could have been a really good method, but it doesn't seem to be able to find the right body position just yet. He's got to be really careful if he does swap feet to not dab into that out of
bounds area.
That's it, yeah.
Side, yeah. This is the way I was reading this finish, was to toe look back on that block. But Tim being probably the tallest of the athletes out there, and he's struggling to get that toe round.
See, he was really didn't want to swap feet and flag out there. He couldn't quite find the body position. Just 4 minutes dead to play with. He's already used 50% of his time. And Bestfast is back up there in a really interesting sequence here. Goes up high with the right hand to where the thumb catches. Helps through that section, and then you've got to fire into this pair of shoulders. A really violent move, hard sticks it.
Great move. He's going to have to cross over again now with that left hand to get that over thumb catch.
See the strain going through the upper body there, through the back. A really savage start to the women's campaign.
So even though she got the bonus there, it still looks like she's got a lot of work to do to even get into the position to fight for that final hold. Another 2, 3, possibly 4 moves almost. Quite a bit shuffling along on these block volumes. It takes quite a lot of effort to work your way up them. 2 or 3 moves just to get to the top of that thumb catch.
You can see just over Tim's right hand shoulder there, the clock. That's the official timing. Got a lot of work to do here. 1 minute left. He knows it's probably physically not actually that difficult. He's just got to control that last move, find the right body position. He's absolutely rammed down there at the front of the ball. The athletes got a tiny amount of room just to spread their gear out and try and get themselves set. And Bestmartin's back on now, wasting no time, 1 minute left. Quite a lot of moves here on this women's opening boulder. Some very, very tiring sections on the shoulders. Squeezing again, that's nice. Really great support here from the crowd. Alma Bestfarter now. Come on, got to get up into that left-hand shoulder. Not quite this time round. 35 seconds with only 4 minutes dead to play with. It's probably not going to happen for Alma, but Tim Loser is back up there.
Now he's just going to have to... He's gone lower on the volume this time. Maybe he's got hold of one of the screw holes in that bottom corner of those triangles that we know so well.
I'm really looking for that foot swap, guys. I think he might just have to commit that with 15 seconds left. He needs to do something really quickly here. He's gonna run out of time if he doesn't do something. Does go for the foot swap, drops the left foot down, and in the end, no worries, just in the nick of time with 5 seconds left.
Brilliant start there.
That was really interesting. Maybe this whole black tape thing and the volumes on the left-hand side was really playing on his mind on his first attempt. I think he could have done that because he just effectively dropped off the first time.
I think normally you do a really fast foot swap and kick your foot out on the wall, and obviously he seems to be super wary of his foot going beyond that line. If he goes beyond that line, he's going to touch one of those volumes and he's going to be called down by the judge.
So Leah Crane and Matt Cousins, a pair of Brits, start their finals fight. Say Matt Cousins suffering with a really bad skin on the right hand side, complete clean split through his tip. But he's had Alex Magos taping him up, so
tape and glue.
Tape and glue, yeah. Super glued his fingers shut. It's pretty desperate. Let's concentrate on Leah Crane now, absolutely cruising through that first couple of moves. This is looking really good for Leah. She's made so many QWIF finals but never taken away the gold. So let's see if tonight is Leah Crane's night. Her movement is exceptional.
First hard move. Held that well, reeled it back in. Come on, Leah.
She stuck that really well. The head just dipped back through that move. Showed how hard she's trying. This is looking really good. Sliding down the volume now, though, and yeah, that is a hard move.
Nice and solid on that bonus there. A little bit further, we saw. One move further, but still.
Let's see our first proper look at this rollover jump. On men's number 1, the 1-2. Matt Cousins is actually really good at that move. He sets that move quite a lot. He's a professional route setter, and I'll be surprised if he can't get that done.
It's certainly one of his favourite styles of move. This throw over the top into the shoulder and then quickly lift the left hand and plant it out onto that. And that hold that Ben West there is brushing.
Yeah, ex-British team member out there. Earning his keep, doing a bit of brushing for us. Right, all eyes on Matt Cousins then on this next section. He's just had a little look, checking that he's got the right method.
Leah Crane using her time after that go. She's obviously secured the bonus, so she's not rushing to get back on. She wants to make it count.
Matt Cousins got a bit too much momentum there at the moment. Needs to suck into a bit closer into that left hand. Palm down. Just checks the time. Be surprised if Matt can't do this move, but Matt Cousins has a reputation of doing the moves right at the death. He likes to hang it out there for everybody. Really puts on a good show.
It would be good to see him do this move. Obviously, I think he would be very fast on the top section. It's his style as well. Just like you say, Mike, a little bit too much momentum there. Maybe the fact that he's a little bit shorter than Tim on that move.
Yeah, you can see he's not doubting his method at all. He's just, having said that, he's going low. This is interesting. Will that work? Oh, incredible. Definitely didn't read it like that. Matt Cousins thinking outside the box here. This could have been an extraordinary send. Crowd really appreciate that. We can see both climbers in shot now. Leah Crane back into the shoulders and drops it. Matt Cousins is fighting towards the end now. Lots of shouts of "come on, Matt" in the background. This is looking really good. He's got plenty of time. He's looking for a screw holder. Crimps it down with the left hand. We saw Tim get the foot swap. What's Matt going to do? Oh, he just wobbled off.
You can just see, Matt's a setter when he goes straight for that screw hole, knows where it is on that volume.
But God, how did he fall off there? He just sort of lost concentration, took one look over his right shoulder to see if there's any options for the feet around the corner, and dropped it. He's got a lot to do right now, and if he doesn't do this, he'll be absolutely gutted. 35 seconds left. He's got to remember this is 4 minutes only, not 4+, and get on the wall and get this done.
Yeah, he's going to have to move fast if he wants to get the top on this. He does know his method now.
I don't know what he's waiting for here. He needs to get going. Drops down there and he's obviously confident he's got enough time. He does climb fast. Matt Cousins needs this now. Goes through that low mantle move. Incredible method. It's going to be really interesting to see what other climbers are using, but he's going to run out of time here, guys. 6 seconds
now. Come on, Matt. Got to be super quick. No, that was an awesome effort to try and go again there. This is quite a long rest period now for the rotation. So he's going to be able to recover well. And it was interesting there seeing that height difference maybe. Did it make a difference on that start move?
Yeah, men's number one's got really interesting all of a sudden. We didn't actually get to see too much of Tim Rauser on that move. But it's going to be interesting to see what the other athletes do. Kim Marschner from Germany is out now, and will he go for the big rollover, or will he opt for the low mantle? Let's have a look.
I think almost all the athletes, as we did, will read it for the rollover.
He does go for the low down method though. Really interesting. Didn't see that one coming. Stasha Geho, one of the favourites for this weekend from Serbia, European champion in bouldering, is out there at the moment and into this shouldering section. Stasha had a really good semi-finals, lots of confidence a little bit at the end towards the last couple of boulders, but she'd already done plenty enough before then. All eyes on Kim on the left-hand side, then into this volume section. I think Matt Cousins is going to be kicking himself for not doing this last move.
We see our first flash of this boulder. Really awkward position to find the balance there.
It's a really funny move. I think that is a lot harder than it looks, that move. It's obviously really difficult to find the right body position there. It looks like a slab, but it's actually overhanging that section of filler between the two angles. Yeah. Kim's just searching for something. Goes for the screw hole and goes for the foot swap.
Got the foot swap, and there he has. He's got the top as well. First flash of that boulder, number 1 for the men. Very good effort there. Very appreciative crowd. Stasha back on female 1.
With 2 minutes 30 left then, can Stasha Geho find something on women's number 1? 2 climbers still to come after her. Just really straining through this incredibly difficult move on the shoulders here. Sort of crimp, squeeze in the palm. Looking for all the different options. Seems to have the correct method, but is not happy in that position because it's so difficult. Leah Crane put a really good sort of leg hip flick in to be able to produce the momentum to drop down into the shoulders. Shouldery indeed style, absolutely.
Struggling again a little bit. I mean, Stasha's been injured for a little while and not doing quite as much climbing as she's probably wanting to.
Have a look. What do you reckon? That's crimping the screw holes down. Dirty tactics.
Well, they are there and you are allowed to use them. Yeah. It's in the rules.
Competition climbers will find every trick in the book to get themselves atop, and fair play too. See there, the crowd just packed to the rafters, all trying to squeeze a look in.
See Stasha's still smiling, even though she's struggling with this boulder at the moment, but she's still got 1 minute 15 seconds to go. Plenty of time to get to the top.
You've got to think, if Stasha doesn't do this, it's looking like we won't be seeing much action on it, to be honest. But Michaela has been on good form, so a couple more athletes still to come. It's be interesting to see. It'd be a really good early insight on what's happening. Stasha's really not happy in that section. Looking for a different method, goes for the high foot this time. She won't be opting for the drop knee there with her knee injury at all. Squeezing it out once again now from Stasha with 40 seconds left. Looking like she's opting for a big cross, but can't find anything out the right hand.
Yeah, she's not.
Oh, interesting.
Finding a way onto that bonus.
Yeah, with 35 seconds left, just walks off. She obviously knows she's got to pick her battles, and that is not one that she needs to fight with any longer. Stasha Geho sits back on the mats and leaves only Alma Besvata and Leah Crane still to come, and there is Alma. German team over here, lots of them over here anyway, for the Rab CWIF 2018. Great to see them. It's great to see so many internationals.
So, Yara
Sparta, excuse me.
Female wrong. Yeah. Yara Sparta still to climb, and here she is underway. Final is go.
Yeah, Yara Sparta. Not Alma Besvata. Yara Sparta had a fantastic semi-final round.
Yeah, she was looking super strong, actually, I thought, and just tried so hard.
Yeah, she's actually been living in Sheffield for quite a long time now, and gets the really deep drop knee in there on the left-hand side, looking for all the different options. That left-hand pinch must be really bad. All the athletes really struggling with that. Interestingly, the first couple of climbers found a really good sequence through there.
So this is the move, first hard move, this slapping into that bonus hold. She holds it.
Irish Party looking so strong this weekend. Managed to get the left foot back. That was nice. First climber out, couldn't find the left foot. Got a lot of fighting to do there.
This is looking quite good now. Awesome. First one through that bonus hold.
How the Irish Party is still on the wall, I have no idea. It's an incredible effort. The crowd is giving her so much noise right now. The Irish Party finds the right hill and just got a launch for the finish hold.
So close.
What a moment, the moment of the final so far.
That was brilliant. That's the same style that we saw when she was down in London competing at Blockfest. She's just such a thinker on the route. Climbing the Boulder problem like she's actually climbing the route. It's amazing.
What a fight. And Aidan Roberts also goes for the low mantle option. Matt Cousins really seems to be barking up the wrong tree there with his triple catch earlier on. And it's Aidan Roberts now. He's trying to find the method around the corner. Let's have another look. What an effort this was. Use the momentum, swing the right hand up and just tickle the top of the volume.
So close.
Got to think that is going to take a hell of a lot of gas out of the tank.
Yeah, that was a big go, that. Still got 1.5 minutes to go. Only time for rest. Probably wait and run the clock down to the 1 minute buzzer. But like you said, it's going to have taken a lot of effort now. Here we go, both athletes back on the boulders. They are on the right hand side and off again. Quick slip.
Yeah, is it a quick slip or is she just ruining that first attempt? And has she got anything left? As Aidan Roberts, you would have thought his attempts on this haven't taken too much energy out of him. Quite a short boulder, men's number 1. Tricky one in the corners. I think with a quick grooving. Go for the palm down release. Got to release that right toe and then swing around the corner. Looks like he's going for a more static option. The Irish Party begins her fight back on top of women's number 1. The head tilting back already, but she's looking good again. Opts for the high left foot. Just see the tension required. Takes it out of her and she's off again. I don't think she's going to have enough time to get back on and have a really good burn of that. As Aidan Roberts trying to find this really tenuous position. Really hard to watch to hear at the end of men's 1. This is where Matt Cousins wobbled off. No such issues. Aidan Roberts.
Great top for Aidan.
Good work. Yeah, Aidan's looking on really good form this weekend.
It's interesting watching those two blocks because obviously the ladies' block's quite long, and as that clock goes down to 40 seconds left, you're like thinking there's almost no chance to get anywhere near that again. And the men's one is really slow, foot swap on the left-hand side, and 40 seconds was plenty of time to get that match.
Yeah, obviously the zone score is more important than it was last season, but both Leah, Yara, Alma all got the zone, so that top or near top just won't really help the Irish Party that much, and it's going to take out a hell of a lot of energy. But nonetheless, it was a really good effort. One of the favourites for this weekend then, Kokoro Fuji. Looks like he's starting his campaign. Looks like a slight technical incident down the front. Judges, see too much laptop open. Chloe Collier on the right hand side, just taking her time. Hopefully we won't have too much of a delay here in proceedings. The clock has started. That will be reset. There we go.
Yeah, those athletes just being made to stand and wait before they pull onto the boulder.
So good to see Kokoro over here in the UK. Gaz, one of the only Japanese athletes to make the trip over pre-season. And, yeah, it's just fantastic to see some of his calibre. They are sending the athletes back to the isolation zone, so we will have a short pause in proceedings here. Not 100% sure what's going on. Maybe we can try and get Shauna to have a little look, see what's happening down there. If she can fight her way through the crowd. We'll see if we can get Shauna. If not, I want to carry on talking about Kokoro, Gaz. It's amazing. He's only here for just 1 week. He said he had a little tour of some of the best gyms around, and he says, well, basically the best thing about Britain is the tea.
Well, we've got our teas on the go here in the studio, and
the Japanese have some pretty good tea, to be fair. Yeah. Maybe the classic builder's tea tops the Japanese tea. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe they got Yorkshire tea over there.
Hope not. So guys, if you have joined us, we have got a short pause here. I'm sure everything will be back soon enough. It is a scoring issue with the tablet, slight internet connection issue, but we're fine, we're hot. And we do believe we have Shauna down at the mats who can tell us what's going on.
Hello and welcome back to the mats. It's getting a little bit tense in here because the clocks have broken. This actually happens every now and then in World Cups, and it feels really weird to be out there. So you get all prepped up for your go, you get your shoes on, you get them clean, you get your chalk on your hands, you get up in front of the boulder, you're standing and facing the crowd, and then you're waiting for that buzzer to count down and turn around and you'll climb, and then suddenly you can't climb because the clocks aren't working. It's something that happens, you know, technical faults happen all over the world, everywhere we go, and as a climber it can be really frustrating, but you do have to understand that these things happen. So if anything, these climbers are getting a little bit more rest, they're just chilling out, but the crowd are starting to look around and wonder what's going on, and they're waiting for the action, but if anything I think it's going to make them more hungry to see what's going on. It's been amazing in here. We've seen some real try-hard efforts. I've seen Leah's first ever power scream in a comp maybe, which was awesome to see her try that hard. We've seen some amazing efforts on the slab on the far left for the guys, or the slabby finish. So yeah, it's cool to see everyone giving it as much as they possibly can, and I think we've still got a couple of climbers to go on these boulders, so yeah, it's gonna be a good show if they can get the clocks working. We heard some beeps going on behind me then, so I'm thinking they might be figuring it out. If they don't figure it out, they'll get the stopwatches out, they'll get old school. Back to you, Mike and Gaz, thanks.
Well, there we go. Classic bit of clock issues, but yeah, we've always got a stopwatch. We have got a question just come in actually, and it's a good question as well because it's very relevant to men's number one, is what are the rules on topping a boulder, because they don't really seem to be holding the volume for that long, and if you were to scout out the I4C rulebook, if you're that sad, basically it says that you need to hold the finish hold in control. What deemed as control or not is probably relevant to the hold itself, but basically it's usually described as a reasonable pause on the hold with two hands. So a couple of seconds, look behind, look over your shoulder, wait until you get the nod from the judge, and definitely don't start celebrating before you've got that and jump off.
And we're back with our two athletes on the mat. Kokoro, ready to go, and Chloe Collier from Belgium.
So Kokoro finds the method down low straight away as well. I really want to find out from the route setters what was the intended method here. Not that it really matters too much, because everyone's going to find their different way. Kokoro, one of the favourites for this weekend, then struggled a little bit in qualifiers, got through the semis and came through in second place on the semi-final round. Let's see what he's got to offer on the corners and on the groove. So dynamic, so typical of the Japanese athletes. The style that they really train. Kokoro Fuji now pushing it out, and Chloe Collier is really in the groove. Oh, he's just squeezing it. Pretty sure just heard the round of applause there from Kokoro, who's got a top.
That was a very quick top from Kokoro. We're pretty happy with that. Obviously, the quicker that an athlete can climb one of these boulders, the longer rest they get. The women's boulder is definitely going to take some energy from the climbers. Yeah, it's 2 or 3 goes on this boulder. It's physical, it's long, and it's block one. It's going to pack a punch, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think the opposites these two boulders. Women's got a really physical start, and they tend to have a bit more of a technical finish on the right hand side, and the men start on the left and work their way through more powerful sections as they go down the wall, hopefully. Kokoro, no issues. We didn't quite get to see the end of his block. Maybe we'll get to a replay of the top of that. No issues whatsoever for Kokoro Fuji. Absolutely cruised it. We'll see plenty more action of him on 2, 3 and 4 as we go down the wall, but it's all eyes on Chloe Collier at the moment. I think from Belgium, been at QIF for many a year. Seems to really like it over here.
Obviously, super early days in this final. QIF 2018, really the starter of the 2018 season. One of the athletes' favourite events.
Quite a few athletes using this as a real gauge of how their winter training's been progressing. Let's see how Chloe's winter training's been coming along. She really seemed to quite perplexed through this section a minute ago. Had some really interesting drop knees in, looking for a completely different foot option though. Looks like she's going to go for a drop knee on the right hand side this time. You can see her trying to find space for the knee in the big drop knee. See how steep it is through that section. Completely different method here. Look, she's going feet first, pushing out on the left-hand side, really trying to sort of mantle effectively off that left-hand volume in the groove.
I thought she was trying to wiggle that foot up that bonus volume and think about getting a knee bar in there, but this seems to be the method, is to sink low.
Yeah, sink low and then high left foot.
Yeah, drop in, slap out, cross back over.
But we know that section's definitely possible. We've seen Leah in there, we've seen Alma in there, and we've definitely seen Yara Sparte all the way up till the last hold. So if this competition did come down to what happens on this boulder, you think Yara Sparte is going to be really unlucky on that one. Fingertips on the last hole. It's Chloe Collier now with 35 seconds left. Plenty of time if she gets a move on. We saw Matt Cousins really running down the clock earlier on his attempt on men's one, but Chloe's also running out of time here. It's just not going to be enough time.
Well, she hasn't secured the bonus, I don't think. No, she has got the zone hold, yeah. Already got it, so I'm not too sure why she is pulling on this. She's got a lot of climbing to do in 7 seconds, and I don't think she's going to really have time to get past this bonus hold.
Well, you do wonder if that's a sign of slight inexperience there. You saw Stashigeo got down to 35 seconds left and just walked off. Chloe, for some reason there, just kept fighting all the way to the death. Realistically, she didn't have anywhere near enough time to get that boulder done, but went for it anyway. Good spirit, but possibly not the best tactics. We'll see if that has any effect on the competition later on.
Yeah, it's very interesting with somebody like Stashia, who's still quite a young climber, young competitor, only 20, but super mature, super experienced already, and very, very clever when it comes to competing on the international circuit.
So Alex Kazanoff then, the man on fire at the moment here at the Quiff, been smashing all weekend, is super confident at the moment. Can he find the right body position? He nearly tippled off there. He nearly just lost his balance. Been training every day of the week, 2 times a day, ready for the up-and-coming season. And that was an action replay of what happened to Matt Cousins. Just dropped his focus a little bit and just spun off the left hand.
Over on the right-hand side, we've got Michaela Tracy opening her final campaign. Block 1.
If Michaela can find a top here, she's going to put herself in a really good position, but she is also struggling with that position. Women's number 1 at the moment, looking very, very difficult. No tops. Going for the deep drop knee and squeeze through. She's not seen the double shoulder method yet. Michaela, great shot. Just see her blowing the hair out of her eyes. Oh, that looks savage. So hard to watch. She's fighting so hard. There's absolutely nothing there for the left hand. She's got to have a rethink. And Gaz, Michaela is one of those athletes. She is really good at pausing, having a rethink. We saw that in the semi-finals on block number 3. She just stood down for a minute, figured it all out, and then smashed it off.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the clever climbers out there. So battle away when she's on the boulder and then be able to reset, rethink.
This time through Kazanoff, no issues at all. If you guys are wondering, he just taps the volume with the tip of his fingers on the right hand side. That is enough. That does class as 2 hands in control. Just a tap is enough. Kazanoff walks back to the isolation zone. Another top in the bag this weekend. Plenty of tops on men's number 1 and a few heartbreakers as well.
Plenty of time for Michaela on female 1. 1 minute 40 seconds still on the clock.
In the rotation on men's number 1, we've had 5 tops out of 6 climbers. Matt Cousins is going to be kicking himself. The only one not to top men's number 1, even though he had the finish hold in his hand with 1 hand. Both athletes, Kokoro and Kim Master, flashed it. Alex Kazanoff second go, just spun off the last hold. Tim Uza also did it in the 2nd attempt, and Aidan Roberts 4th attempt too. If attempts do become critical, it's Kokoro and Kim who are in the best position so far. It's Michaela Tracy at the moment, then her getting close to her final effort on women's number 1. She's only going for 2 efforts on this boulder.
Yeah, she needs to put a move on here. Waited for that 1 minute buzzer, thinking about it quite a lot. Now she needs to move quite quickly. Hopefully she's got a method now to get onto the bonus. She secured the bonus on her first go. Didn't really seem to see the method to actually get on it properly to make progress to the top of the boulder. Here she goes.
That was much better. She couldn't see, she's thought about the method, she's figured it out. You've got to think she's left it a bit too late. The first go took a lot of time. 30 seconds left. Surely she's going to be walking off. Yeah, gives the nod to the judges. She's out of there, and she is feeling that on the right shoulder. The way that she's trying to push that out is insane on her first effort.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether she was trying to find a method to cross through there, or she was actually just going for the bonus.
We can have a look at the man in form, the top qualifier from semi-finals. Alex Kazanov gets the top. Tap with the right fingers. Let's just move in. Quick bit of rearrangement. The wall here at the Quiff is pretty big, but these boulders we want to see a lot of sideways moves, and that means a lot of space. So you just move a couple of volumes out of the way just to make sure that there's no technical incidents.
So interestingly, after the first boulder, we've still got Michaela Tracy sitting at the top of the field with 1 bonus in 1 attempt. Chloe Collier, 1 bonus in 1 attempt. Yara Sparte, 1 bonus in 1 attempt. Leah Crane, 1 bonus in 1 attempt. And Alma Vesparta, 1 bonus in 2 attempts. And Stasha Gayho in 6th place with no bonuses. Super close.
Okay, we just got Jana down at the mat. Just a quick explanation of what was going on there with the route setting.
So we've just seen the route setters rush onto the mats, take off some holds so they're not in the way of the next boulders. We've taken off some black tape as well to make sure that the climbers can climb freely without worrying about crossing it. And you can see the action behind me just getting going. Alma on problem 2, and yeah, this one's a burly one, so it's going to be a good one to watch. Back to Mike and Gaz so you can see the action for yourself.
So we are underway then. Alma Vesparta on the right hand side of the screen, like Sean says. This is a burly one. I'm really looking forward to this one through the roof here. Really funky through this bottom section volumes. Super modern. I want to see.
Bonus secured there on men's 2 for Tim.
Tim's looking good, and he initially is not liking the undercut. So powerful this section, not finding anything on the underside of the volume, opting to go for the top. If that was a method, it was a super cool one. That was a hell of a double catch there from Tim Maruzo. This is looking really good now. He's always just got to fire up to the finish hold. It is a good hold and gets it done in fine style. Goes for the showboat, gets the match and comes off.
That was a really good effort by Tim there. This is looking for the men's like it's possibly going to be a flash final, and mistakes are the things that are going to let you down.
Yeah, that was really interesting. He just looked like he had nothing, and all of a sudden just fired up, and he almost surprised himself, I think. And yeah, the way he just walked off there, like, okay. Didn't quite expect that one. But what a method. Yeah, onto the crimp on top. Didn't expect that. Didn't read it like that when we were down on the mats earlier. Again, super interesting method from the route setters. Seems to be multiple ways of doing these boulders.
Yeah, good start there. Alma taking some time now. 2 minutes gone. Quick replay. Last move there.
As soon as he hit that finish, I was looking down like, yeah, I got this. Awesome job.
This is an interesting boulder over on the right hand side for winners number 2. Quite a strange start. Super steep. Some super big holes to start with.
Yeah, we saw some of the route sets getting really tucked into the underside of those volumes, sort of walking effectively underneath them and really palming off the undersides. But it looks like Alma's looking for a more conventional method, just sticking with the basic power method through those new squadron volumes. And this time she hits the zone hole with no issues. She's been up this high already on her first effort. Finds great bicycle technique there from the right toe and the right toe hook. Got to fire up to this next hole. So this is where she fell last time. Ooh, so close to securing that. It is a pretty decent in-cut edge. She's got a minute left. Is it going to be enough? I think that is exactly what she's figuring out right now. Is it wise to pack up shop now and we'll give it one more go? What do you reckon, Gaz? One more go?
Well, I think she'll give it another go. We've got limited time, obviously, in this final, but the rest that you get between the boulders is quite long as we go through the rotation of 6 athletes. Unless they all flash quickly, then rest time is a little bit shorter, but it's quite a good rest in this style of final.
Well, she had a quick go. I was going to say potentially she might have rested for a little bit longer, but she hasn't. Effectively, after a minute left, she has finished that rotation, so with 30 seconds left, and Vesvarta, no real joy apart from
walking off there.
The zone hold secured, but not much more than that. Got a feeling that this boulder is going to be crucial for the overall result. Looks like potentially one of the easier climbs.
Leah Crane next out for the ladies. Got 2. Matt Cousins.
Matt Cousins has got to redeem himself now if he wants to make an impact on the podium here. Got to feel that he's got to pull something special out of the bag here, and pretty quickly as well, with Tim Russo has already secured the top. He's put himself in a really good position, and Matt Cousins only climbing, unfortunately not to do men's number 1. All to play for still though, 4 boulders in total to complete.
Definitely an interesting position to come out from Matt here. I'm pretty sure he will know that this boulder was flashed by Tim, so he knows what he's got to do. Hopefully he'll see the method quite quick. Looks like he's going to see it. Yes, just missed that flip with the left hand. Didn't quite get behind the hold.
That's a great move actually. The left hand, the underside of that left hand pair has to be bad enough that you can't use it when you want to just pull on it straight away as a conventional undercut. It has to be used once you've fired up and go for the 1-2. See, Matt just fumbled it a little bit, but again he's really good at that sort of coordination move. Trains that a lot when he's route setting, so you've got the feeling that Matt Cousins shouldn't have too many issues with this next move. But we did say that with his coordination attempts on men's number 1, it turned out to be the wrong method. But this time it looks like that's the way that Tim did it, that's the way Matt's doing it. It looks like he's read it perfectly. Leah Crane, on the other hand, just having a little look at her options.
Seeing if she can climb it facing out. That's what some of the route setters were playing with earlier on. But she's going to go for standard method.
Matt Cousins sticks the 1-2 this time. Hits the compression, gets his heel high. Good support in the crowd. Oh, the heel just pings off. Matt Cousins making a lot of mistakes tonight. A fantastic semi-final round, but not quite meant to be for him so far. Leah Crane sticks it this time. That was like Velcro to that left-hand hold there. Good effort from Leah. Now she's into the upper section. Now she can start fighting on this boulder. This is what she wants. Start putting some power down. Come on, Leah.
She's gone with a different hand for this. Left hand onto the bonus hold. This is a match. This is the move to the crim. Catches it. Come on, Leah. She do this last move.
Really good for Leah. Elbows are raised. Oh, she's in big trouble up there. She looked absolutely gassed on the
She
top.
looked strong when she first got that crimp. Matt Cousins on the last move. Matches the ball. Yes, he'll be happy with that. But I think he'll be a little bit annoyed that should have gone down much quicker.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one for Matt. He was in pretty dire straits with his skin before the final, so you kind of think that anything will do at this stage in the competition. Does check his skin there, and the tape is good. But he's still a competitor. At the end of the day, he wants to take away a win. But he gets to top. That's all he can do on that one. Maybe he could have done it a bit quicker. Let's have another look. It was actually quite a dramatic finish from Matt there. Big smash out. The left hand ripped in the end. There it was. But he had a good enough hold in the right hand to control the swing. Nicely done, and a nice replay. Do remember you can get in touch, #RabReplay on all of your social media and at ClimbingWorks. Love to hear from you guys. We'll bring up your tweets and Instagrams on the feed here.
Still super early days in this final here at the Climbing Works in Sheffield. Leah back on, female number 2. Making quick work through that bottom section. Already been close to the final hole. Hopefully she's been able to rest and get enough energy back. Bonus hole secured again.
Not meant to be for Leah on that one. You've got to say she's one of the best athletes out there, possibly in the world, at reading boulders and just getting the method perfect. It's 5 through there. She's just questioning something, but a bit of confusion, but she does walk off. Stasha Geho, one of the favourites for this competition. No action pretty much from anybody on women's number 1, so it is kind of competition starts here really for them. This one proving just a bit too difficult. Yarosh Bate was the standout athlete there, but still only can't do more than the zone hold other than the top, so she's equal with everybody else. Who then opts for the right heel. Maybe we should be thinking about that twice with that knee injury.
Underway on men's 2 as well.
Yeah, Kim Marshner
twirling through those undercuts. Not quite as strong as the previous 2 competitors we saw on there, but Straight into the method we've seen.
Zinged off that left hand at full
I think he
speed.
needs to get the brushes on there. Come on, Ben West, get your brush out.
Ended up in the front row. This is looking really good from Stasha though. Leah went for the rollover method. Alma Besvart went up to the right hand Gaston. Stasha looking strong now. Just holds the rotation on that, struggling with the conditions a little bit potentially. This is where we saw Leah Crane. Stasha's going for the big flick. Wasn't quite enough. It was a really good effort, but these women's bowlers seem so powerful.
Yeah, that looks like a hard last move as well. It seems to get harder and harder again. Similar to the previous boulder, progressively harder from the first move.
Yeah, you do wonder if that is the method. Is it just to chuck out to the finish hold there, or should they be looking for some sort of left heel in the big squadron volume there? Let's have another look. You can see as she started to swing, left elbow was just raised a little bit, came up short. Potentially enough energy left though for Stasha. I'm sure she's got pretty decent fitness at this stage just before the season starts, with 2 minutes 20 left. Got a lot of work to do.
I think looking at this women's boulder, you're going to do the last move, and if you catch the finishing hold, you've still got quite a lot of work to do to get that left heel involved to actually be able to get the match solid, because that top hold is facing right with, so it's going to be quite awkward to hold.
Yeah, I think it's going to, if someone hits that, it's going to be pretty spectacular whether they stay on the wall or not, I think.
Hopefully they will, otherwise they'll be out of that window on the right hand side of the climbing wall.
They'll be over the crowd and into the main road, I think.
Ben West there, giving the volumes a brush over on the men's number 2.
Yeah, Kim Marshall, we're just having a little look at Kim's sort of international career. He's obviously a super young athlete, but he's actually really good at lead and speed. He's actually got a PB that he got in Innsbruck at the World Youth Championships, 8.51 on the speed wall.
Definitely not slow, that.
Which is not bad at all. So to get through here as such a young athlete into the QWIF Finals is a fantastic start for him on this 45-degree wall. Apparently 15.2 degrees temperature on the wall out there. Chilly.
The interesting thing is this wall gets hotter as you go higher. About 2 degrees difference between the start holds and the finish holds.
Yeah. There's plenty of spotlights up there though, so that does make sense. Some of the athletes saying during the semi-finals, some of the holds, some of the slopers towards the top of the wall were suffering under the lights a little bit.
Stasha back on block 2 here. 50 seconds.
Quite clean through this section.
Gone for the heel.
Locking the left heel, got the left on the left hand, the little finger dropped off, she was into the front 3 crimp.
Brutal heel on the knee there, isn't it? Super high, heel twisted really far out. It's going to be a pleasant place.
That's nice now from Kim. Can he finish it off? He's trying so hard, he's got a fantastic try-hard face, this guy. Come on, all the way. Can he hit the finish hold? Gives it the maximum. Oh!
Not too sure where he landed, but
went out of shot.
He looks like he's okay.
Just to be in one piece. The way these athletes can land from the top of the wall, pretty much square on his head, and walks off no problem. The beauty of youth. And Gaz, the women's competition is looking brutally hard so far. No tops.
Sure. Women's is looking very, very stern. We are scoring it on bonuses at the moment.
And it's Yarosh Barte, the standout athlete from the first problem. Let's have another look at Kim Marshall here on the top hole. Gave it everything he could. Left hand went and then drops out the top floor.
Like a lead weight.
Aidan Robertson starts on men's number 2 and Yarosh Barte. Really looking to see what Yara can do. She seems to have bags of power.
Aidan's obviously coming out this boulder knowing that it's been done. He's been climbed a few times, people are getting high on it as well. So a little bit of pressure on him. Hopefully he can rise to the occasion.
Should be up Aidan Street, this one. He's so strong. Pulling on small holes. He goes for the double flick though. It's a nice timing. We've had the perfect method. It's funny actually, there's an X on the floor there. I'm not sure if that's where they expect to land. Certainly wasn't the case for Kim Marshall.
Maybe that's where one of the route setters landed and had to be carted off the mat. Good first go there from Aidan. He seemed a little bit slow to flip that left hand when we saw Tim earlier. It just seems to be a much quicker move.
Yeah, you do wonder if that's just a confidence thing. Obviously Aidan, he's won a lot of competitions in his time already as a 20-year-old, but He maybe just lacking that confidence on the bigger stage a little bit. But yeah, Spartan struggling to say the least with this bottom section. He doesn't know what to do with those volumes at all.
Definitely getting on board with the struggle bus a little bit there.
Yeah, absolutely. She's fully got a ticket for that ride. She's really struggling.
But we know she'll be back again for another go in a moment. Still plenty of time left. Aidan
back on then. Free section. Aidan trains predominantly just on fixed hold woody boards between 45 and 50 degrees. I would have thought this 45-degree panel would be right up his street. Not quite. Oh, nice to hear from Holds on Instagram. Holds are actually providing the matting for this competition wall for many a year. So Yara then with 1 minute 50 left needs to find something here. Looking at completely different options. Pulling on, kind of facing out to the crowd. Other climbers found a much more basic method through here. But I guess, what do you think it is? You just can't find something on the undercut. It's a bit shorter.
She's actually trying to pull on. Over on the left though, we've got Aidan again on this double. 1-2. Oh, so close.
That is a wicked move, I have to say.
Yeah,
I'm
really,
pretty
really
psyched
nice.
with that move.
We'll put that one in the bank for later on, I think.
That's looking better from Yara. She seems to be able to not quite find enough friction or something on that first left-hand squadron volume. Whether there's issues with the texture or brushes have been working quite hard in there, so you don't think it'd be too much to do with that. You've got to feel if Yara can get through this, she's got a really good opportunity at the top of this boulder, the way that she's looked this weekend, but currently can't get through the first move.
Yeah, it's very interesting watching her on this boulder, seeing how she did on block 1. It's super high, dropped the last move, best performance on it. Yeah, struggling to get past the second hold on women's 2.
I do wonder if this is a slight body position thing actually. That bottom foothold is so big. I think we saw some of the athletes getting their weight over to the left and really dropping into that shoulder. I'm going to tell if Yara Sparte finds that, but it's Aidan Roberts at the moment. He's looking for another attempt on this big flick.
1-2, holds it this time. Good effort from Aidan, now he just needs to keep it together. You've seen it topped. You've seen it dropped from the last move as well. Come on, Aidan.
Straining under the heel, the left foot. He tried to look for a little toe catch there as well. Oh, just rushed it at the top. He had to as well with only 10 seconds left. Nothing really for Yara Sparte at all there. A pretty demoralising attempt on women's number 2. A great effort from Aidan Roberts on men's number 2. Chloe Collier out next. And here he comes from the back, Kokoro. No issues for Kokoro, men's number 1, one of only 2 athletes to flash that block. Let's have another look at Aidan at the top here. It was just the heel that blew. Saw that from Cousins on his first, one of his first attempts as well. His heel went. Really, that proved how bad that hold. It's bad for a hand, it's definitely bad for a foot. Let's see what Kokoro can make of this. I think this is going to be right up his street.
Yeah, I think he's going to like this one. Go straight out to the bottom of that triangular block volume. Good undercut. 1-2, no problem for the Japanese climber.
Kokoro's looking on great form here as well, and he's absolutely cruising here. Oh, just as I say that, his foot went as well. Aidan Roberts' heel went.
Michael, thank you very much.
Kokoro, right smile. He was just in cruise mode there all of a sudden. Yeah. Tapped himself on the head. He knows that was a big mistake, especially if attempts at tops are going to be crucial here. Just the hill went. He just seemed to be, like I said, absolutely cruising. Just relaxed the hips a little bit, lost the body tension, and was off. A big mistake for Kokoro Fuji. Let's see if it impacts on his finals later on. It's Chloe Collier. See if she can make anything of this starting section. It looks so awkward. There we go. Weights across to the left. Uses the left toe really wisely on the underside. Hopefully she can drop into the shoulder a bit more now. That's better. Still a really hard move. Brutally difficult this women's bowl. So hard just to get through the first 2 moves, and you've got a lot
really
to do.
Surprising. The first 2 athletes were getting through those moves and getting super high on the boulder. Kokoro Fuji again. I think this time he will be a little bit more controlled. Hopefully he needs to work these feet. This is a crucial bit. Heel, toe hook. Make sure they stay. Control, that's better.
Big pop out to the finish hole for Kokoro, no problems at all. He really should have flashed it. Maybe that'll make a difference to his final result, but in the end, got it done. 2 minutes still to go. Absolutely no problems at all. Kokoro looks like he's warming up at the moment.
So for those of you watching, interested in finishing hold that as well, actually, it's the finishing hold is marked to the volume, so you don't actually need to touch the ball with both hands. One hand on the ball, one hand on the volume, and that will still count as a top. Back in with the ladies here. Chloe still struggling to get through this first move. Pretty steady earlier on.
Right.
I wonder if the texture's changed. Maybe it's got a little bit hotter.
Yeah.
Really hard to tell what's happening out there.
Great athletes like Alma Beth Arthur and Leah coming on early. You know, this competition's really wide open. It might not necessarily be the conditions. Who knows? Okay, definitely struggling though with a minute left. Only Michaela Tracy left after that, and we've seen no top so far in the women's category. Women's routes looking savagely difficult at this stage. Time's going to tell unless we see a top here. I'd like to say the routes have overcooked this a little bit for the women's category. It was extremely close though. The effort from Yash Bate on women's number 1 was desperately close to the top. Having a look through, we get a really good close-up of what these women have got to tackle through here. So steep, and I think that's the problem with this boulder, is we've seen attempts at the last hole, but it's so difficult to get through the bottom section. Huge power out by the time they get to the top.
It's looking a bit better.
That's better.
Only 20 seconds or so on the clock though, so what she needs to do is at least secure the bonus, which I think she's going to get. Yeah, good.
Secures the zone now with 10 seconds left. She likes to fight these boulders right to the death, but she is pretty much out of time here. 4 seconds. It's not meant to be if Chloe Cully runs out of time again, but ultimately that wasn't the problem there. She's run out of power. No top so far. Women's number 1 and 2 with only Michaela Tracy left to come. So I think this could be up Michaela Street. If she gets through this bottom section okay, she's shaking off the right hand shoulder there a little bit. She seems to be walking off rubbing that earlier on, and she was coming into this competition with a shoulder injury. Hopefully that's not planning on her mind that much.
Let's keep our fingers crossed that Michaela has got the measure of this boulder.
Kazanov from Israel then on to his starting position of men's number 2. Really looking on form, as we've said time and time again. You can see, well, look at the cannons flexing there. Alex Kazanov looks fit as a fiddle going into this competition and misses the catch. Great move. Really perfect timing boulder, really low percentage. Michaela Tracy's firing through this bottom section with no issues whatsoever. Michaela Tracy climbs here all the time, and you really think that might help through this section of volumes. Bit of a power scream she's trying though.
Going with the right hand, seems a slightly harder method, the rollover for the bonus, but she's secured the bonus, which is a good start.
She's climbing.
Locate that toe hook to get the match.
Power screaming through every move here, Michaela Tracy, and seems to be using quite a lot of energy on this attempt.
Good effort though there.
Scream of frustration.
She obviously doesn't really know what everyone else has done on this boulder, how quick they've got the bonus.
It's almost
a bit of an idea, but doesn't know for sure.
To me it seems, obviously it's a massively complicated boulder, but it seems that the way that the volumes are, these friction dependent fiberglass volumes, it's really hard to climb through them quickly, and that seems to be sucking the power out, so that by the time they get to potentially the two hardest moves, the penultimate move and the final chuck to the jug, she seems to be completely out of beans. She needs to have a good rest here and get through this bottom section really, really cleanly if she's got a chance at the top. And to be honest, we could really do with the top here in the women's competition.
Well, she's still got plenty of time, another 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Kazanov has already had another attempt as well. Struggled with that flip with the left hand, catch that undercut.
Asking for the brush. She's not happy with the brushing. Get there, get it done. Kazanov, in the meantime, looks for the 1-2. Nicely done. New screensaver there. If you're looking side on, Alex Kazanov, awesome move. This time seems to be rushing it a little bit. Hopefully he's planted that left foot nicely, but no such issues. Nicely done. Alex Kazanov straight back to the top of the leaderboard. Takes the opportunity to point to his fellow competitors and do a little bit of showboating. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we want to see.
So all eyes in the house are on Michaela Tracy. Team GB. 1 minute 10. See what she can do. Already been to the bonus. Nice and quickly through here, hopefully. Save a little bit of energy now with a bit of speed. She knows what she's got to do. Sequence in mind. 50 seconds on the clock, plenty of time. Is she going to roll this move?
Yes, come on.
Come on.
Looking at our options, and maybe this is not the time to be thinking about different options. You need to climb clean and fast through here. This is a great effort from Michaela. Really want to see her top here. Crowd's giving her everything they've got. Has to work the hands to get the left hand hold in the space on the left hand side, and again falls short of the hold. Really, it was Alma Besvarta who really looked the best on that problem, we have to say, who came out first. No tops so far in the competition. This is pretty much unprecedented really here.
Yeah, very interesting that Alma's looking the best as well. She dropped the last hold on the first boulder. She got super high on the second boulder. But we're only halfway through the semi-final. 2 boulders gone. Still 2 more boulders to play for. The ladies have got to keep their heads up and know that it's all to play for.
Well, it really is. You know, if nobody's really scoring anything apart from zones, it does mean that any top on the last 2 boulders is going to be crucial. You can kind of draw a line under those first 2 boulders, forget they ever happened, and just start the competition on boulders 3 and 4.
I think this is one of the important things that some athletes forget about finals in this situation. Everyone can be around the side there with their heads down a little bit, thinking, oh, it's not going well, we're not doing anything, nobody's done anything, but it's a level playing field.
Yeah. Just to recap the scores at the moment, it is Michaela Tracy with 2 zones and 2 attempts, followed by Alma Besvarta, who's just about to start on the 3rd boulders. Chloe Collier's behind her, 2 zones in 5, alongside Leah Crane. Then it's Barte and Stashigeyo, 2 of the favourites, and 5th and 6th with the 1 zone in 1 attempt.
And in the men's, we've got Kokoro Fuji, 2 in 3, Tim Rosa, 2 in 3, so Kokoro is ahead on count back there. Alex Kazanov, 2 in 6, Kim Marshall, 1 in 1, Matthew Cousins, finally top 1 in 3, and Aidan Roberts, 1 in 4.
So on to the vertical section for the men now. They've had a kind of really tricky, balancy problem to finish on men's number 1 after a powerful start, and now they're on to this. We're calling this problem the tape problem due to its artistic qualities. Very nice looking boulder. Really got to watch that left foot there as well. There's a really nice little turnaround there actually. Thought it could potentially be a bit of a skip across the wall, but it's not. It's really looking good once again from Tim Ruza. Hits the zone hold on his first attempt, absolutely cruising so far. This is nicely done. Men's competition looking much more steady than the women's. Like I said, Gaz, it's really coming down to attempts.
And Tim is looking pretty good for a podium on this boulder, this men's tour.
Fighting hard and got the guppy on, looking really good. He's looking so confident. Tim Ruza from the Netherlands gets it done in style. This man is on form.
His confidence is only going to get better as well as it goes on. That's 3 boulders under his belt, and it's all to play for him.
Tim's such an interesting character. I spoke to him earlier, he said he doesn't do comps. Having said that, he is the current Dutch national champion in both lead and boulder. It's a funny version of not doing comps, but it's obviously not too bad. It is his first ever quiff.
Chooses his comps. Chooses them well.
Just a bit of an all-rounder, and obviously a bit of a crusher. The way he did men's number 2 earlier was really nice, and the way he did number 3 was also with bags of style. So it's Matt Cousins now. We'll move straight on. It's Leah Crane. There must have been a top there as well in the women's. We go straight onto the second rotation. Just check the scores. Leah Crane, she is really, really good at this style. Yeah, Alma Besvarta found a top there pretty quickly in 2 attempts. So women's competition at last, Gaz. We have a top.
Underway.
It's underway.
Yeah, Leah on to problem 3. She's come onto this boulder knowing it's been topped as well.
You can see the men's volumes from earlier that were in that yellow section have been whipped away. They're gone. Into the brushing. If they could use that ladder on the left-hand side there, if they're just sort of finding it a bit difficult.
Looks like Lucinda. Lucinda Whittaker, is she as well?
Matt Cousins up and looking good. Softer, scarper shoe on for this really technical boulder. Can he repeat Tim Rouse's method? Oh, nicely done.
Nice.
Like glue up to that right-hand blocks volumes. That was really nice. Matt Cousins is back in the game a little bit here after a sort of bit of a disastrous start on men's number 1 and looking so confident. Men's number 3 here looks like a bit of a path. Nicely done from Matt Cousins. I'm sure it's not a path. These athletes are so good.
Certainly sure it isn't. It's one of those things where you're going to have to be pretty confident on those volumes, and suddenly you can be thinking, I'm in there, and then suddenly a little slip and you sat back on the mat, especially on that transition after the first move. You do come super close, you've got to be careful not to jab that mat.
In the meantime, Leah Crane's looking much better. She's up on the zone hold now. 2 holds to go and a big rollover now. A lot of tension through the left hand undercut and the left toe. Oh, interesting. Goes again with the left hand. Just spins off, completely lost the body position where she went up for that hold, but it does look like a half decent hold. 1:40 left for Leah.
We've not seen the method yet for the ladies on this start of female 3. Hopefully we're going to see it this time. Leah is the only climber out on the mat at the moment.
Leah Crane's got it all to do here because it's Alma Bessart who's currently sitting in first position with 1 top in 2 attempts. 2 attempts on this boulder and 3 zones in 6. She's back up through this bottom section with no issues this time. This is real. This is QWIF in a nutshell, this boulder. Classic bit of volumes on a slab. Come on, Leah.
Smoothly through there for Leah Crane.
1 minute left. Surprisingly time-consuming, these slab boulders. Yeah, so much experience, so she'll know exactly what she's got to do. Never won the QWIF, so she wants to put something special in the bag here. Leah's got it to do though. 45 seconds left for Leah. Will she opt for the left hand again method? Oh, and just slips. Exactly what you're saying, Gaz. These volumes, you can just be there and all of a sudden, without realising you're back on the mat, you've just lost a bit of friction under the feet.
Straight back on though for Leah. She's got 30 seconds still to climb this boulder. She understands that start method now, so she can get through it a little bit quicker. She needs to get a move on though.
Yeah, 20 seconds left. She knows that she's got it all to do here. The way she fell off and pulled straight back on, she knows exactly what she's got. As you can see, it just peered over her left shoulder at the time there. She's gonna, if she does it, this will be very, very spectacular. But come on, Leah. And just a few seconds left. Hits it with 5 seconds.
Needs to move now.
This could be on the buzzer. Oh,
brilliant
nicely
top.
done.
Very, very good.
That was one of the best moments so far. Leah Crane blows her cheeks out. That was desperately close and very well done. The way that she dropped off the wall there and just instantly jumped back on, it was just enough. If she sort of chalked up or thought about it in any way whatsoever, she would have run out of time. This was literally 2 seconds left. And that is where the 4-minute rule comes into its own for its levels of excitement. That was awesome work from Leah Crane.
Well, good top there. That keeps her in the running. Like I said earlier on, we've had 2 boulders with no real scores to separate the ladies. A couple of bonuses, but no tops. And now, suddenly, female 3, 2 tops. The women's competition is go.
Steffi Gaho, we saw there, she is a real slab specialist. If you caught the IFC stream when in Munich in the end of the summer, she was the only climber to top the really, really tenuous slab there. I think it was boulder number 3 at the time. And yeah, so she really, really likes the slabs. Hopefully she can get on with that one okay. Moving on to the men's category though, back into the vertical section. Doesn't look too tricky as we've seen so far, this one. Another good effort. Kim Marshner following Matt Cousins'
Keep cursing the men's with your words there. Back on the mat.
She's just finding her way through nice and slowly. She did say she really struggled to put the power through her right leg. You see her grimace actually there when she went to stand on the right foot. You wonder if that is just a really difficult move or she was struggling, and you know, when you have an injury it just plays on your mind a little bit, and you've got to do really well not to just wreck yourself on these boulders, and especially it's the very start of a long international season to come.
Yeah, this is going to be a testing Testing competition for her. Trying to recover from this knee injury, still carrying it by the looks of it. Back on though for Stasha. Nicely through onto the bonus. Looking pretty steady on the start of this. 2 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time, she doesn't need to rush. This was the move she struggled on before.
Yeah, it was interesting. Leah Crane actually ended up with that zone bonus, the one on the far right, with her right hand right at the top and then fired across and stood up into it. Currently Stasha has it as a sort of a left hand. It's not even really an undercut or a palm, it's somewhere in between the two. And she's just struggling to use that because there's nothing really for the fingers to get the weight over to the right and start transitioning around those volumes. You see Leah's method through there was a little bit more dynamic, used the arm to throw across. Nice to hear from you guys. I think that's somebody in the crowd there. Great Instagram. If you do get in touch, use the hashtag Rab Replay on all your social media. And get at the Climbing Works Instagram. Here we go then. Stasha looking for a very similar method once again, trying to get some sort of purchase out that left hand. Fingers are really bowing there. Does seem to be a little bit more comfortable now. Now she pushes through the right knee, and that is the worst case scenario for her knee, that stand-up move, but seems to be pushing on with it. Nicely done from Stasha. Hopefully she can make this method really count now with 45 seconds left. This is where we saw Leah have a couple of attempts. Stasha's going for the big stand-up, palming on the right hand, and zing goes the foot once again, exactly like Leah's, and I'm pretty sure Stasha won't be having another go at that one.
30 seconds on the clock. Kim
Marshall not anywhere near as happy as the other guys on this problem.
He's through that transition without touching down on the mat, so will him on to the bonus.
Very dynamic, went for the sort of wrap on the top. Cousins went for the thumb pinch on top with the left hand around the side and found a really nice position, but Stasha is going for another go, but she's on the beeps and she's out of there again. Gave it everything. She knows that she needed the top there really with nothing so far on that boulder. Stasha Gaho struggling a little bit here, and like we said earlier in the preview program, Stasha was really firing on all cylinders halfway through the semi-finals, then seemed to tail off a little bit. I wonder what sort of physical condition she is in going into the last boulder. Let's have another look at Tim. Sorry, get the Tims and Kims around the wall.
They're very similar, aren't they? You know, wouldn't worry too much about it.
Aidan Robertson from the British team pulls on. He's had a fantastic competition so far.
Men's 3 move up to the first volume.
Barte
dropping down.
Women's number 1. Her confidence, I don't know, maybe it's just the body language thing, but her confidence just seems to have dropped a little bit after that real struggle at the bottom of women's number 2. Aidan Roberts looking at sea a little bit here on these volumes.
It's I had a quick look at this one on this right hand side, and those 3 volumes that you do that drop down transition on are not the same texture as the blocks volumes. So they've not quite got as good a friction. A little bit more patchy, so competitors need to choose where to stand carefully. Jana back in action.
This is where we saw Leah rolling over in a dynamic fashion to the dropping down the right hand to the palm and then standing straight up into that next zone bonus hold. Yara just trying to stretch it out and really putting so much force through that right toe. Alma and Leah have put themselves in a great position for this final here. That could potentially be some of the podium deciders because we're already on women's number 3. Alma's up there at the top with 1 top in 2 attempts at the moment, and Leah with a nice attempt on her third problem, 1 top in 4 attempts. Everybody is just zone holds after that.
Close in here on Aidan as he pulls back on. Let's hope he can get a little bit further this time. He didn't make it to the bonus on his first go. Didn't really seem to get on board with this drop down move. He needs to drop that right foot down. He does. Now he needs to lower down onto that middle triangle. Nicely done.
Yeah, Tim Rizzo and Matthew Cousins made this look a much easier challenge than these last couple of guys, so maybe it is actually a lot harder than it looks, and those guys have just come on form when it comes to climbing through these volumes. So yeah, we were saying it was a bit of a rout earlier, but really it's actually quite difficult, and it's actually going to play an important part of the final standings here. Aidan Roberts really needs something here though, because he's down there in last position at the moment, 6th with 1 top in 4 attempts, so he's got to find something here.
Well, he's got the bonus, but he's going with the right foot out and trying to do it static. We've seen it done this way, but with a little pounce for the bonus, and we've also seen it done palming down with the right hand where the right foot is and rolling over.
I think the problem there is that it's actually he committed himself to standing up, and he actually left his left foot too high, so he didn't have anything to push off. In the meantime, Yara Shibate gets the 1 minute buzzer and has got across that bottom section, but still it's heads down at the moment for Yara. She needs to find something here. Keep the head up and keep fighting, because it's only 1 top at the moment that puts you at the top of the leaderboard.
Aidan back on again, off the ground. Needs to move fast. This is quite a slow boulder, this one, only 30 seconds on the clock. Climb this with a lot of feeling, a lot of movement.
Nicely done. You would have thought he does have enough time if he gets him pretty quickly through this next section.
Going for the rollover this time.
Big roller and looking really comfortable actually. That's nicely done from Aidan Roberts. Great route reading, 15 seconds left. Knows what he's got to do. He's got a good smile on his face. 10 seconds. I'm sure we'll start hearing the beeps for the 5 seconds anytime now, but it looks so strong through that section. Time shouldn't be a problem. Nice done. 2 seconds remaining. Aidan Roberts joins the 1 top club. For the scores to update.
Here we go with the replay. Just Aidan getting to the top of this boulder. It's his first top. He'll be happy with that. 2 seconds on the clock remaining there.
Yeah, that's nice actually. He's put him after his top on men's number 1. He's put himself nicely up there. 2 tops in 8 attempts. A couple of climbers still to come.
Tim Rosa still heading up the leaderboard there. 3 tops in 4. Matt Cousins 2 tops in 4, and Aidan Roberts 2 tops in 8.
Yeah. The champ from Team Japan is out next, so let's see what he makes of this really technical. I pretty much can call it a slab, I would say, the time we've stood on those volumes.
A vert slab. Can you have a vert slab?
Yeah, you can now.
Yeah.
Slabby vert.
I'd sort of expect Kokoro to top something like this, I think. Going for the high foot roll over to the bonus. Solid on that.
Nicely done for Kokoro. Like that roll through method with the palm down on the right hand. Kokoro Fuji firing up this next section. Absolutely no problems on the top of it. Have some of that. He's up there now with 3 tops. I think that'd be 3 tops in 5 or 3 tops in 4.
3 tops in 4, yeah.
So it's close at the top between Tim Ruza and Kokoro Fuji, with Alex Kazanov still to come. Alex Kazanov, the best he can do will be 3rd if he finds a top on that one. 2 tops in 6 at the moment him, so he had a couple of goes to get men's number 2.
Kokoro Fuji 3 and 4 now. Tim Rosa 3 and 4, both on 3 bonuses in 3 zones in 3 attempts, I should say. So split on count back.
Yeah, there's another quick look there at Kokoro. You can see there the 2 tables. Men's is mostly green boxes, and the women's is mostly red.
Red for.
But it's looking like a couple of really good tops from Besvata and Crane so far. That's looking really, really good on number 3. And I think that Leah's attempt and the way that she secured the finish hold just at the death might be Leah Crane on the podium on the slab. Alex Magos won the QWIF in the men's competition last year based on his slab climbing.
Yep.
Once again, the QWIF comes down to the really technical boulders.
He was still struggling with a finger injury at that point as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, luckily there wasn't any holes on the slab, I think. So
that's a good point, yeah. Just standing on his feet. Campusing on his feet.
Yeah. Chloe now then with 1 minute 30 left. What method has she got through this bottom section? So important for these athletes to stay really controlled. You've got to keep breathing and not let the nerves get you on these problems. It's really difficult with such a strong crowd in here. Lots of people hopefully watching at home, and it's difficult, not to kind of get too nervous and get too wobbly on these really technical slabs where it requires just pure balance and some friction on the footholds, which is not finding through there.
Yeah, it's a funny little foothold that. There's 2 parts to stand on. You can stand right on the top of the hold, and there's also like a little piggy nose, which everybody's using with the right foot first. Chloe's opting for a slightly dynamic manoeuvre across the bonus.
All of a sudden, she just seems to be losing the foot there. I wonder if she's just a chalk build-up either on the hold or on the carpet or on her shoe. Just blows off the excess there, and 35 seconds left. We've seen this for boulders 1 and 2 so far. Chloe Collier climbing all the way down to the death in terms of the time, and we saw it from Leah Crane. She did well, but doesn't look like Chloe Collier's getting anywhere with this bottom foothold. Must be super frustrating having got through that section already.
Bit of double brush action there. Matt Cousins. Not Matt Cousins. Max Ayrton.
That'd be very sporting if it was Matt Cousins coming in to help with him.
Coming in to help with the brushing for the ladies. Sure he would.
Again, Chloe's battling through there, but time has run out. It's the top competitors out next then. Alex Kazanoff in the men's and Michaela Tracy. And I think someone like Alex now is going to be super nervous moving on to this final boulder, because he's realistically, they're not that far away from the problems. They're going to know that it's kind of getting a lot of tops, this problem. And if he wants to win this competition, he's going to need one too.
Michaela Tracy on block 3, as Shauna was chatting to her earlier on, declared her a bit of a slab specialist. Hope she is tonight. Good to see a top from Michaela. Alex quickly through that transition, foot high, roll over to the bonus, to the zone secured.
Michaela secures the zone as well, and I'm really liking the different methods on men's number 3 at the moment. Matt Cousins did it a lot more direct, a bit more powerful front on, and Alex Kazanoff, boom, that's a top. That'll do nicely. Go and sit back down. Get ready for the final boulder. It's getting really tight now. We've had 3 climbers with 3 tops. Kokoro, Tim Ruza and Alex Kazanoff. Kazanoff will all put himself into third position based on the number of attempts at the moment to those 3 tops. Tim and Kokoro currently with 3 tops in 4 attempts. Kokoro going through currently in first position based on countback from the semi-final round. So it's all eyes on Michaela then. 22 minutes 40 to go.
Plenty of time for Michaela. She seemed a little bit confused when she got across on this first go. She missed this little undercut you can see on the volume, a bit blind. She's found it this time. Goes for the big step through.
Nicely done with the step through there.
Nicely done.
Great flexibility.
This is the move we've seen a few people slip and fall off.
Yes, we've saw double foot slip, one from Leah, one from Stashigeo, twice from Stashigeo actually. Just looking to put the power down through that left foot, pumping it, knows that this is going to be crucial here with Alma and Leah already top this boulder. Michaela's got to find the method through here, looking good now though. Finds the right foot, wiggling and wobbling, and it looked like she's just trying to power through on the left-hand undercut. Leah's method on there was really nice, dynamic through the first couple of volumes and then dynamic to that upper volume. Leah really showing her class in terms of her route reading and movement abilities once again here at the QIF.
Interesting boulder. It took Leah 2 goes to get that second to last pink hold screwed onto that block's volume. It's a little bit blind when you see it from the right hand side. This camera we're looking from at the moment, you can see the holds not probably very visible from the climbers. Leah fumbled it on the first attempt and then was solid on the second.
Really interesting seeing them on that right hand starting foot as well. It just seems to be a different foothold for different athletes. Michaela having no problem standing on that and just rolling through. Here we go then into the top section with 1 minute left. Michaela Tracy's pushing it out in the groove a little bit. There won't be any really decent texture up there at all. Just looking for something. There obviously isn't anything. Pushes it out now. Starts to use the compression between the undercut and the wall. Fires to the left hand, goes for the 1-2. That was nicely done from Michaela Tracy and gets it done in a couple of attempts. That was well done from Michaela Tracy. Yes, indeed. Went for the same method as Leah there, pushing it out in the corner. Goes 1-2 to that pink hole Gaz was talking about was blind, and you could see it was blind actually. The way she hit it was a bit of a surprise and had to catch in quite quickly.
Quick foot swap as well into the finishing hold. So that's Boulder's 3 completed for the men and women. We are now into the last boulder of the QWIF 2018. Quick replay. Happy Michaela there. A little bit surprised.
Great to watch Michaela as always, and somehow we're already on to the final boulder. It's all to play for then in the women's competition. It's Alma Vesvata currently leading the way with 1 top in 2 attempts, followed by that lady we've just seen, Michaela, 1 top in 3, and it's Leah Crane with 1 top in 4. But with Stasha, Yara and Chloe all just needing 1 top to catch them, it's going to be really, really close. If one of these guys gets a flash, it really does open it all up. Vesvata will put herself in a brilliant position if she gets this. If she finds a top, Stasha, Yara and Chloe all cannot win. So, here we go.
Now we can see men's 4 as well. Action. Both climbers going well.
Yeah, Tim's had a stellar performance this weekend. He's getting high, both climbers pretty much neck and neck on the wall, and this is going to be so crucial to the end result here. This podium's up for grabs right now. This guy Tim is at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. Great men's final so far. This is looking really good now. Can she find a top? She's powering out a little bit. Oh, somehow she sticks the final hold. What a moment. It was a hell of a job to hold the swing on that. What a fight, and
big
what
smile
a final.
on the face there.
Really well deserved. That was fantastic. Alma Vesvata finds 2 tops in 3 attempts, flashes the final problem. Awesome effort, and that really does put the cat amongst the pigeons, because they have got a lot of work to do. I'm just having a quick look at the scores. That puts Alma Vesvata, as far as I'm aware, we unfortunately aren't using the predictive scoring system this year, but looking at the scores, I think that puts Alma Vesvata in silver or gold position at this stage, with Leah Crane 1 top in 4 attempts from 3 zones in 7.
Michaela Tracy 1 top in 3 and 3 zones in 3 attempts. So
yeah, it's going to be between Michaela and Alma if Michaela finds a top, to who takes away the QWIF champion 2018. Leah can no longer win because she already has 4 attempts for her 1 top. So super interesting here in the women's already, and Alma Vesvata's come out of nowhere right at the end. Smashed the last couple of boulders in just a few attempts and put herself in a great position.
But if we look at those women's results, that podium's still quite open. 1 and 2's not decided. 3 is definitely still open if Leah doesn't top on the final women's boulder, and Stasha, Yara or Chloe do.
Tim's just struggling to find some sort of body tension there. I think there's maybe some sort of left toe hook available there, but men's number 4 is looking like a really good decider problem, and it looks really, really difficult. That's what we want to see. They want to see a really good fight to the death here in the men's competition. It is pretty open at the moment, but it is attempts at the moment that's splitting the climbers. And count back between the top 2. No, mistaken, because of Tim's got the zone hold on that one already. He does move into current first position temporarily, potentially, with his 4 zones in 4 attempts, 3 tops in 4.
Certainly looks as almost a step up in grade does this boulder. Very, very basic. Pretty obvious what you need to do. That blocks volume that Tim's got up to. We know that from setting with that recently. It's not a very good hold on a vertical wall, never mind on an overhanging wall in the climbing works when the temperature's up high. I wonder how hot Lauren's head is at the moment.
Well, considering the start of the women's competition, I think his head's pretty warm at the moment.
I think it's got a bit hotter, yeah.
So Tim Rowther then needs it, goes again with the right hand, has a think about his method. That looks much better. Still same result, standing back on the mat at the end of his time. He sits down now and has the very, very nervous weight, currently at the top of the leaderboard with 5 climbers still to come. Has Tim Rowther done enough? You've got to think, really, he's done enough for a podium. So Matt Cousins then comes out. Let's see what he can do. 3 tops in 5 attempts would put him into a provisional third. That's what would be awesome for him. That would be his PB at the QWIF, his best ever results. See what he can do. He does like the powerful problems. The skin doesn't seem to have caused him too many issues so far. Be gutted not to do the first problem. See what he can make of this next section. Tim Raza had no joy at all on this next bit. Matt Cousins just floating around on the feet, just having a look for some options. Pings off once again. What do you reckon? That looks desperate.
Yeah, that's a hard method. There was when I first viewed that boulder, then there was both of those bumps on that blocks volume were chalked, so it does look like the way that Tim tried it on his last method was to go with the right hand and then the left.
So can Leah Crane match the top?
Matt getting in there involved, getting those holes brushed. Quick replay. So whereas Tim went on his last go with his right hand, Matt still chose to go with that left hand. Maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong. We don't really know yet. Nobody's got any further than that hold. See the data of the wall there, 15.5 degrees, 30 degree overhang. Boulder set by Rob Napier, little powerhouse. Rob. Matt back on the wall.
Come on now, Matt Cousins and Leah Crane. Got a lot of work to do in front of this really knowledgeable British crowd. Matt Cousins now looks for an options with the feet to try and hold the tension into the wall. Leah Crane's looking really good as well, secures the zone and fighting quite hard here.
Matt looking solid now this time. That left foot just pinged a bit.
Leah Crane's working so hard, she needs this to guarantee herself a podium position. Crimping it down now, Leah Crane goes for a really awkward foot sequence. She's trying so hard, there's going to be a real endurance here for Leah Crane if she can stay on. Goes for the big smash out on the left and runs out of power. She still remains in third position with her 1 top in 4 attempts and her 4 zones. Oh, it's going to be close. If one Stash or Yara or Chloe finds the top, they could knock Leah off of the podium. Leah standing there, hands on hips. She needs to get through that bottom section a lot quicker and find a top here.
Plenty of time left on the clock though, 1:20.
Matt Cousins having a bit of a laugh with the local MCs and the crowd. Seems to have got to that stage in the event where he's just trying to enjoy himself now. Good to see another fantastic performance from Matt Cousins. Looking forward to seeing him on the international circuit this year.
This has definitely cemented his place in the British team for this season. This is being used as a selection event for the British bouldering team for the 2018 season.
Doesn't seem to be finding any new options there. Surely he's down to the bone now with that split that he went through earlier. Super glue's probably worn off, it's opened up under the tape. Leah now, she needs this with 45 seconds left. Goes for the really wide move over, goes for the span rather than the 1-2.
Looking good this time, a bit faster through this section.
Just trying to shake off a bit of the pump now. Leah Crane, 30 seconds left to get it done. This is where she was before, really struggled dropping into this shoulder move. She seems to be got through there, like you say, Gaz, much quicker now, but is off.
I'll transfer that onto the bonus. Cousins back on now. Got a little bit of a knee bar under there. This is the best attempt from Cousins.
Oh, that was a really good effort. For all of a sudden I thought Matt might have found something there, but Lil froze his tape off, his finger tape off in frustration. It was a good day nonetheless, and a good weekend really for Matt Cousins. Made his 2nd QWIF final, and he's got to be pretty happy overall, I would say. Bit disappointed not to do men's number 1. He'll be kind of reliving that moment for quite a few years, I reckon. Yeah, one of the head judges here in charge of the scoring and timing systems. Tim Hatch working hard as always, one of the many great volunteers here that help make this event possible. Big thanks to all the guys who are out there giving up their weekend. As we look back to the competition, it's Stasha here, and she's currently down in 4th position with only zone holds to her name at the moment, but with a quick top in under 2 attempts.
Made a good start already on the bonus.
Yeah, we'll see her into a podium position here. This is looking really good. All of a sudden, Stasha Gayo has just turned up to the competition. Here we go. Can she find a quick top here? This is looking really nice. That'll give her 1 top in 1 attempt if she can hold the swing. No issues at all. Great way to finish the competition, and really that shows it all. A shake of the head. She knows that she could have done a lot better tonight, and ultimately she's gone away disappointed. She will have put herself into a good position. One top in one, 3 zones in 3. She does drop into 4th position with that. It's tied with, I think I'll put her into 3rd actually.
3rd at the minute, yeah.
Waiting for my screen to update.
Of Michaela Tracy.
Yeah, with Michaela still to come. It's currently Alma Leshvarta up there at the top. Doing our absolute best here with the scores. We've got a slightly slow update, unfortunately. It does look like Alma Leshvarta cannot be beaten at this stage. It's only Michaela Tracy who can really catch her. If she flashed it, it'd be 2 tops in 4 at best, and Alma Leshvarta already has 2 tops in 3. Would be attempts to tops, as they can both. If they both found tops, that would be 2 tops in 3, 4 bonuses, 4 zones in 7 for Alma, and that would be, if at best, Michaela Tracy, 2 tops in 4 and 4 zones in 4.
Kim really struggling with the start of men's 4. Definitely a little bit burlier this boulder than what we've seen on the men's boulders up to now. Much more physical. Is this possibly going to play into the hands of Kokoro when we see him on this?
Yeah, it'd be great if this competition is decided based on the last boulder. Maybe we can have the dream finish with 1 top to finish the competition, with the only climber to secure 4. That would be nice, but they've got quite a long way to go to get to that stage. Kim Marshner still fighting it out there. 2 tops would rocket him up into 4th position, currently held by Matt Cousins.
He steps off there. He's looking tired. Head drops.
Oh, don't forget, these guys have been at it 30 really hard qualifiers yesterday. Another 4 boulders through the semi-final this morning, and now desperation all the way through the final as well. So it's not surprising if the skin's thin, looking really tired. Fair play for getting to this far. Great effort from the young German. Just pinging off backwards, 30 seconds left. He will go just right to the death. There's no reason not to. It's the final climb. Athletes start to gather at the bottom of the wall for the nervous wait to see who can take away the prize money, take away the medals, take away the prestige of CWIF champion. What a way to start the season that would be.
Tim is back on. 1 more go, 15 seconds. Come on, Tim. No. He's giving it his all. Quick wave to the crowd. Thank you very much.
That was a good effort. 6th place in the finals, unfortunately for him, but to be fair, looking forward, that's pretty good just to get through to the finals. Hello to you, Ollie, there on Twitter. Thanks for being in touch. Remember hashtag Rab replay. And Instagram as well, at Climbing Works. Good to hear from you on these final bowls. Have another look. Just squeezing. He's got a really good try-hard face, this guy. The thing's off once again. That's the end of the competition for him. And it's now Yarosh Barte and Aidan Roberts. Aidan Roberts down in 5th position at the moment with 2 tops in 8 and 3 zones in 7. Finds a quick top here. He would put himself onto the podium position in 3rd. Alex Kazanov still to come, actually still holding that position.
Yara and Aidan.
Top positions actually
both taking a moment.
Looking pretty secure up there at the moment. I think the positioning that they're going to finish in is still yet to change, with Alex Kazanov and Kokoro still to come, but Tim Morales is definitely on the podium with 3 tops in 4. Well done to him. Doesn't compete apparently, comes out to the CWIF, gets himself on the podium. That's nicely done, and it's going to be really to fight now between Kokoro and Alex Kazanov. Can somebody find a top? It's Kokoro who is in the better position at the moment with less attempts to tops, with 4 over Kazanov's 7. But all eyes are at the moment on Aidan Roberts, straining through the biceps, heavy strapping on the left bicep there. Just a bit of a smile to the crowd, lifted the eyebrows. Are you sure, boys? Is this possible? Great effort nonetheless from Aidan, actually. It'd be good to see him on the international circuit this year, competing in the seniors bouldering, and
Yara back on.
From Yara.
She's already been here. See if she can get this bonus. We know this boulder's been topped. She knows it's been topped. She knows it's possible. She's still got the energy. Long way to go yet.
Drops in for the match and gets a really nice high heel. Just struggling so much here though. Her head's tilting back every time that she loads the arms. Big move required here from Jana. Goes for it and comes up short. It's a great effort. She looks absolutely wrecked at this stage in the competition. Really trying hard. It's fantastic to see. She's down there at 5th position at the moment with no tops to her name, unfortunately. Alma Besparta on the top step.
Replay here, this move out to the ball on the blocks volume. Big move.
Yeah, has really done herself proud this week, and no matter where she ends up, she's really put on a fantastic show for everybody at home and for the guys in the crowd here.
Aidan Roberts back on, men's 4. Come on, Aidan. Into that undercut, you can see that is such a bad undercut, almost into the bonus there. It was a good effort, he played the clock a little bit. I think that's Aidan saying thank you very much and steps out. Maybe that bicep is just holding him back a little bit on that last boulder. Ben West is in there getting the brushing. Meanwhile, Jana back onto the bonus again. Come on, let's see if she can do this move.
Yeah, bumps the right hand up to the top of that hole this time, gives herself a bit more height, but yeah, she looks absolutely wrecked and she needs to just have a lie down, I think. That was a great weekend, though nonetheless for Jana Sparta, she's done really well. Studying over here in Sheffield and head
still
held
smiling.
high. Yeah, great effort, really great to see. Moving on then, guys, getting close now. On to the next rotation, it's Kokoro and Chloe. Kokoro currently setting it in 2nd position. If he finds the top here in any number of attempts, he will push Tim Rouser off of the top step, and then it'll be down to Alex Kazanov. This is crucial now. If he finds a quick top here, he will be the winner.
I'm going for a flash. My prediction.
Confidence.
Yeah. I'm confident in this man, in this boulder.
Could be very right or very wrong in the next 10 seconds.
There's one or the other.
Here we go then, Kokoro Fuji pulling on for the win. Quick top here puts him pretty much in an unbeatable position. What has he got? Gamba Gamba comes from the crowd. Japanese, but come on. Looking so strong. Drops into the knee bar. That's really nice now. Can he flick up to the next crimp? He's bumping along like that. It's like it's a different hole to everybody else. Has a look left. Has a look right. Just needs to find his hands now and fire up to this side pull. A terrible hole that he's going up to. Looks like he's going for a really high hill. Losing the tension a little bit here. Kokoro Fuji's actually starting to try quite hard now. Can he find some tension still and misses the heel? He looked like he was absolutely cruising there, but he is going up to a side pull, so he's got to go up to it quite slowly. He might have thought he might prefer the fire up to that that penultimate side pull, but he realised how bad it was. Ended up going slowly, but I don't know, guys, it wasn't a flash, but I reckon he can do that as Chloe Collier pushes through the bottom section and is starting to look really good now. Chloe's also fighting really hard. She can't really get herself onto the podium.
But it'd be nice for her to have a good finish here. Secured the bonus, working her hands up to the top of that bonus now. Looking at that hole, it's a little bit blind. You can see from this angle, you can't quite see it. Super close there, got her hand to it, couldn't quite hold it.
So close.
2 minutes 10 on the clock now. She's got plenty of time to rest. Run that time down a little bit. Kokoro Fuji, he knows he can do this boulder. Just trying to find the body position to secure that side pull.
I'm pretty sure he will know as well that Alex Kazanov is right up his tail, so this is really, really all to play for, and he knows Kokoro's got to focus. Let's have another look what went wrong last time. It was just that right heel. Doesn't really seem to be much to hook on there, and he had it on the inside of his hand. Let's go now then for Kokoro Fuji. He is back on, working his way through this bottom section. Needs this now, and he needs it in a couple of attempts to put himself guaranteed gold medal. Up to the left hand slope now. See him just bump the right hand out of the way to try and have a look at an option for a heel already. This time he goes it for it in exactly the same spot. Will it stick this time? Rocks over it nicely.
Solid.
That's really good for Kokoro. Fires up to the finish hold. Nicely done, Kokoro Fuji from Japanese champion. Nicely done, finds the top. Only climber so far, 4 tops in 6 attempts, cannot be caught, and the winner in the men's category.
Super strong
Kokoro
finish there.
Fuji. What an effort. It was amazing, really. Struggled through the qualifiers, really redeemed himself in the semi-finals, and that was his bag in the finals. That is much more like it. Flew over from Japan just for this event and smashes it. Really, really well deserved, just have to say, guys.
2 attempts. Looked very strong on that boulder. Knew that was going to be his bag. This time, got that heel on, made it stick, got the top. Meanwhile, we've still got a climber out there. Chloe Collier, quick replay. Happy man.
Yeah, that stage, the way he just looked at that finish, he knew it was a jug. Pump of the fist. Nice little composed showboat to finish, and really well deserved. Kokoro Fuji from Japan takes away the Japanese title just a few weeks ago, and now takes away the QWIF title. What a fantastic start to his 2018 campaign.
Chloe back on her 4th and last boulder. On the bonus again. Needs to shuffle to the top, make this next move a little bit shorter. Been here a couple of times already. Let's see if she can get the next hold. Come on. A little bit more solid there, but still failed to hold it. That's the time gone.
So the final rotation then, guys, of the 2018 QWIF. Been a pretty good fun finals, I would say, overall. A bit hard in the women's to start, but great fun nonetheless. Kazanov, I'm pretty sure he knows he can't win, but he's just having a laugh all the way through this weekend. Real party atmosphere out there on the mats. Kazanov then currently in 3rd position with his 3 tops in 7 attempts. He can only move up the leaderboard with a top here. Tim Rosa from Netherlands, 3 tops in 4 and 4 zones in 4. It's looking really good as well. That zone actually,
solid.
Just looking at the scores, that flash to that zone will put him into 2nd position, I think. But it's all about the tops. Kazanov will want a top. Michaela will definitely want a top as well. We'll see where the
Michaela still
attempt to
going.
the zone there will put him on, but Michaela fighting through this bottom section.
Securing the bonus on female 4. Still battling, needs to work her way up that bonus hold to the top.
Okay,
this is the move, as we've already seen.
Still looking really strong this weekend, Michaela. She's really under that right-hand side of the volume and drops down. Alma Beth Varta looks in a different league on that final problem. Really cruised it. Michaela's rubbing that right-hand shoulder once again. Getting really close here. She needs this to move up into a podium position.
Yeah, she does. She's currently down in 4th place.
Yeah, but she will move up swiftly with that attempt to the zone, though. So Michaela does put herself in a nice position, but she would want it to be guaranteed silver medal.
Nothing is guaranteed yet for Michaela.
Kazanov then into this top section. Seems to have got a really nice crimp down on that volume.
More solid this time. He made that knee bar work.
Can he match Kokoro's method there? This is looking really good from Kazanov now. Goes up to the crimp. This is looking fantastic. Nicely done from Alex Kazanov. Secures his silver medal and a really good weekend. Goes for a 1-armor on the finish hold. What a champ. Well done, mate. That was a brilliant weekend's action for him, and looks like his winter training 6 days a week seems to pay off. Great competition in the men's. Then 2 guys at the top of the leaderboard with both securing 4 boulders, and it was 3 boulders after that. Cousins has finished in 4th place. He'll be really happy with that. Could have done a lot better if he got that first boulder in the bag, but lived to fight another day. It's Michaela now who's still fighting.
She's been here already. Bonus again. Bonus secured.
She's going to want this, really. She just wants to go out on a high.
This is the move. Everyone's going to want to top this as well. So close again. That hole just a little bit blind around the back of that volume.
Yeah, I mean, little does she know she's got 1 minute 20 left on the map. Maybe she can look at that board onto her right-hand side. She will maybe glance over there. She is 2nd. She can't get any higher than 2nd. Will she just go out there for the competition? It's Kazanov from Israel with the celebrations, though. Fantastic competition for him. It did come down to the last boulder. It was Kokoro who just nipped him on attempts.
Michaela just out there on her own now. 50 seconds left. She needs to keep an eye on the clock if she's going to have a chance to get up there. There she goes. Last climber of the QWIF 2018, Michaela Tracy. And the last attempt on Boulder 4, 30 seconds on the clock.
This would be fantastic if she could get this done. It'd be a real kind of go out on a high for the QWIF 2018. It's been a great competition all weekend. She's trying so hard. Great support in the crowd for her. She's trying. Keep trying. Goes for the static option. It's not going to be. That's the final attempt. Michaela Tracy goes away with the silver medal, head held high, bows to the crowd. It was a great weekend's performance from her, and that does wrap up the competition. Standings in the left-hand side there are provisional, but we're pretty confident they are correct.
Kokoro Fuji securing place 1 on the podium, top step, 4 in 6, 4 zones in 4 attempts. Alex Kazanov 4 in 9, 4 zones in 4 attempts, and Tim Rauser taking the bronze medal, 3 in 4 and 4 zones in 4 attempts. Again, like we say, that's provisional at the moment.
Yeah, in the women's category, it really was the best climber I felt won on the day. Alma Bestvater came out first in the finals, qualified in 6th from the semi-final round, takes away the win with just 2 tops in 3 attempts. It was the competition really came down to the final 2 bowlers. Michaela Tracy, who we just saw there, takes away the silver medal with just 1 top in 3 attempts, but a really well deserved and a good fight all weekend. A lot of the climbers really close to Boulder number 2. Leah Crane, fantastic effort, 2 GB athletes in the top 3. Leah Crane gets through nicely, another QWIF podium. Let's see another look at just a couple of the highlights. It was that man, Kokoro Fuji, took away the win. Stasha Geho, you saw her on the final boulder. She looked devastatingly strong right at the end there, but it wasn't enough, and you could just see that she possibly had more to give there tonight, Gaz.
Yeah, I think Stasha's not going to be too happy with the performance. Maybe she'll be happy that she's come out without injuring her knee anymore. Hopefully that's all right for her. She's got a long season ahead. It's just the start of the 2018 competition season for all these competitors, so it's very early doors yet.
Yeah, you can see it there, just reading from the right hand side. Number of tops, 4 from Kazanov, 4 from Fuji. There's the 4 zones also, and it was the attempts to the tops that counted. So close, great effort all round from the guys. A really good show actually, good problems throughout the men's competition. As we wait now as the local officials get ready to put all the finals together, and this was the moment Alex Kazanov fired it off for the finish. Brilliant effort. He actually did a cheeky one-armer there, so he's probably got plenty left in the tank heading towards the Mayringen World Cup. Let's have a look then at the women's results. Sparte could have been very different on the first boulder. She was the only one really to make good progress through towards the finish hole, but she finishes in 6th place. Chloe Collier from Belgium down in 5th. Stasha Geho, who we just talked about, could have done potentially more. Maybe she'll be disappointed with that, but maybe she's holding something back with that knee injury. Great positions then for Leah Crane, Michaela Tracy, 3rd and 2nd team GB. Pretty happy with that, but it's the young German Alma Bestvater who takes away a fantastic top and really well deserved.
Oh, definitely. She was streets ahead of everyone else on those last 2 boulders. Like I said, the first half of the women's competition was not really that important, but Alma came into her own on those boulder 3 and boulder 4, taking a clear and decisive win in the end.
This is Stasha on the final. Problem, you can see just the way that she shakes her head. Really, you don't expect to see people when they get to a top, especially the 4th boulder, to be cheering and kind of celebrating it. Really, Stasha just knows that she could have done a lot more this weekend.
Well, European champion, as we know, Stasha from last year, won in Munich. She knows she can do a lot better, but she's got a full season ahead of her, and hopefully it's going to be a healthy season for her.
That's actually not true. Oh, sorry, the prizes, okay, there's 2 bundles. Each bundle contains a Rab jacket, size and colour of your choice, obviously. A pair of Scarpa shoes to choose from our shop. In 3 months, full membership at the Climbing Works can be transferred. I don't know if that's to another climbing wall. Maybe you want to get something like that, really. It's transferable, you can give it to somebody else if you didn't want it. And a variety of other goodies. What's Drone Man doing? What's he doing? What are you filming? Graham's butt? Anyway, sorry. Bloody hell, what's he going to do? He's going to run the back. You don't watch out.
So, also 442. Anybody? Nobody? All right.
I've got that one.
So what did they say first? What number was it?
Yeah, super.
So 442. That was English.
I got it. Who's got it? Someone's got it. If it's Brian McAlinden, we'll have a redraw. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
You can shout.
What's the number, guys?
That's not here. I think he's got 5.
Oh yes, Chris, our CAC volunteer. So let's give a big round of applause.
The second one is 866.
866.
There we go. Was it?
Bonus to Barnhof.
And support this live stream and give out lots of stuff to lots of people who are waiting all weekend for this final. Hope you guys have enjoyed it at home as well. Great start to the season. Not too late to get in touch if you do. Remember hashtag Rab Replay. I'll see you on the social media. Keep those coming all week, especially some good angles. Always like to see those. I'm sure it won't be too long now before the presentation gets underway, because the IFSC technical delegate and one of the owners of the Climbing Works in the middle there in the blue and brown coats, Graham Olson, dishing out the orders to everybody up the front.
Okay. So,
Well, maybe with Kokoro coming over here then, Gaz, maybe Team Japan might be back for the QIF 2019.
It would be good to see, and it's going to be interesting to see Team Japan competing on the international circuit this year. They were super strong last year. A lot of Japanese made a lot of finals, but not just the same competitors. Each competition, their depth of talent is unbelievable, and I think just getting better and better year on year.
Well, you know, there's so many reasons for that. There's too many kind of to go into right now. Yeah, actually, what we've got right now is the podium. I believe this is for the team overall. It's Team Beastmaker, apparently.
Team Beastmaker, third place. Another Sheffield, almost local now, Jan Hoyer there.
It's one of the elements at the QIF that is very different to an international competition, for example. You can enter as a team going into the qualifiers, and that's based on your qualifying score. So a lot of big names up there, a lot of big shoulders. Hopefully they won't try and fit them all onto the boxes at the front there.
Michaela Tracy sneaking into the middle there. Dave Barons, Nathan Phillips stepping into the centre, Matt Cousins. Team Scarpa taking the top step.
I think they're all going to try and get on.
Come on, Michaela, you need to join that top step.
So I'm guessing this is not the Climbing Works team that has won.
The Climbing Works team, aka Team WAD, in second place. Team Scarpa, Dave Barons, Matt Cousins, Nathan Phillips, Michaela Tracy, great performance, top step there for them.
Nice little dance from Michaela there as she comes off the podium. Still really enjoying herself, so she should, with second place. I do believe we are about to start the presentation for the finals.
Leah Crane, third place.
Great effort.
Congratulated by our world champion.
Yeah, Jana Kuda dishing out the gear, and it's Leah Crane, one top in 4 attempts. Really good effort from her. Kind of came through, looked like she was struggling later on in the semi-final round and initially in the final, but that was to be expected. Nobody found any tops in the first 2. Michaela Tracy then takes the second step. Fantastic effort from her. It's 1 top in 3 attempts and 4 zones in 4 attempts. Brits on 3 and 4, 2 and 3, excuse me, on the podium. It's Alma Besvata, the young German, that takes away the win.
What a great surprise for us, I think. We weren't really focusing too much on Alma in the semi-final, but she's come through. Great performance to take that top step. And gold for Germany.
Nicely done. Happy faces indeed on the podium, and like I say, really well deserved. Alma Besvata, only climber to get 2 tops. Best climber, we'd argue 1 at the end of the day, and that is what we want to see.
Onto the men's podium now. Waiting for the announcement, and in third place we're going to see Tim Rouser from the Netherlands. Here he is, big round of applause. He'll be a happy chap, I'm sure.
Yeah, looks happy as well. It was a really good performance from him. So a bit of another surprise on the podium. So many strong climbers here this weekend. We mentioned quite a few of the people didn't even make it through to the finals, like Jan Hoyter, Tyler Landman, Jana Kuda, people like Dave Baronsworth not even made the finals.
Second place in silver there for Alex Kazanov from... And top step. A very decisive win on that last boulder. Kokoro Fuji takes the gold.
Nice win then for Kokoro. Alex Kazanov, fantastic effort in second place. So there we have it, fantastic competition. That ends the Rab CWIF 2018. So from us here at the Climbing Works, a very good night. Thanks for watching and we'll see you 2019.
See ya. Good night.